Key pound.
In a world,
Shut the hell up.
where Carolina Panthers fans
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
have an insatiable thirst
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
for Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
What's good, Panther fans? And when I say that, I know nothing's good as a Panther fan, except for that it's Tuesday night. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. And the therapy session is open. Group therapy is here. And it's in full effect as the Carolina Panthers fall into a continuous vortex of suck that we haven't, in many ways, touched the bottom yet. Can you believe that? Can you believe, folks, that we have gone on this podcast for 11 years straight, but over the last 6 years, many times we have said it can't get worse. It can't get worse. And then the Carolina Panthers say, hold my beer. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast. I'm Tony Dunn. It's Tuesday night. And while things are terrible with the Carolina Panthers, it's great to be here with my wheelman, Cody Lack.
Tony Dunn, listen, every single month that I look in the mirror, I'm noticing more and more gray hairs in my beard and in my mustache, dude. And in some other places, but dude, I'll spare y'all the TMI. And it dawned on me, bro, I'm really wasting whatever youth I have left worrying about these fuck-ass, suck-ass Carolina Panthers, and it hurts my soul. And then it dawned on me, you know what? Tonight's a Tuesday, and it's just as much therapy for us boys here on the panel as it is for y'all there in the chat, man. Listen, Tony, you know we're going to do this every single Tuesday night with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You already know them. We got Burby1010 in the chat. What's up, baby? Blind Panther Vlars, Joey Esquivel, Brad Holt, C3 Anthony, the brand ambassador, Diesel Skills, Everything Digital, James Williamson, Josh, Ken Jermaine, the First Shepherd, Nirvash, Panther Pickle, Paul Swedson, Roosevelt Mongo, Supernova Moore, and the real AP. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Andy Dalton was in a car accident with his family and his dog. The Carolina Panthers offensive line continues to perform well. And some people, I guess tonight's focus is going to be, should the Carolina Panthers have a fire sale and go ahead and prepare for a full tear down rebuild, while other pet fans are out there saying, holy cow, this offensive line with Justin Fields, that's a conversation I've been seeing on the internet. The number's 252-228-5098. We need your help, folks. We need your help. Lock arms with us. The therapy, you are going to be our therapist just as much as we are going to support you through this tough time. And boy, it's tough, CK. It's really, really tough to get up here on Tuesday nights and do this Sundays after the game. And not to mention, my East Carolina Pirates are the worst fucking football team in college football. My favorite team in football and pro football, the worst football team in football. Why do I like football? I don't know, but I like hanging out with CK.
Yeah, man, it's a hard life to live when you root for teams that don't really give you a lot to root for. It's a very toxic relationship, if you ask me. And unfortunately, you know, we're married to this thing, man. It's something that it's something from a romance novel. And one of these days we're gonna have the good news turn, and we're gonna be like, we just can't quit you, and you know they're gonna be like, we can't quit you either, and we're gonna be good, and it's gonna be happy, and
we're gonna say we can't quit you, and they're gonna be like, who are you?
It turns out that I like this in my life. I mean, boy, what a metaphor for my fucking life. Toxic relationship, married to this, and oh my God. What? I just signed. Maybe I'm the fucking problem here.
Oh, dude, just fucking toxicity. Yeah,
Crazy.
man.
Beat me, flog me, and then I tell you I love you. I don't know what's up with that, guys.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Subscribe to the show, smash the thumbs up button, consider being a C3 super fan. And look, Angel, you can be an angel investor like Nirvash. These dudes get paid millions of dollars to be bad at their jobs. I wish I could do that. Thank you for the $5 C3 bomb. Thumbs up, shares, subscribes, and even copays do help us, particularly when the audio podcast, the numbers for the audio podcast, like they emailed me and they were like, gosh, we thought you guys would be doing better. I was like, I emailed back. I was like, what the fuck do you expect?
This is they.
The network that we're part of. And they're like, these impressions, because we do the underdog. We got the underdog and they're trying to, boy, we need you guys. We need you to be our friends. We need you to support us. And we need to keep the longest running Panthers podcast, the longest running Panthers podcast. Don't let us lose our love for y'all, for each other, and whatever you call this relationship that CK outlines very well. Cody Lack, let's jump into tonight's show. The title of tonight's show is Should the Carolina Panthers Have a Fire Sale? Can I actually start out with, ooh, look at these little circles.
Yeah, did you like that better?
I don't know.
I can do that again.
Put a poll up. Put a poll up. Right. Show them the circles again. Let's see these circles.
Oh, I gotta take it out and then go back to this, and then I can put it back like that. But see, then the comments are gonna be over one.
Oh, we can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. We can, Tony can be, the neighbor from Home Alone. Or
I mean, hey, boys, I'm just a bubble boy. You know what I'm saying? Up here chilling in my
cool,
bubble.
Different. StreamYard added a lot of features. They doubled the price of StreamYard. They better be. All right, let's put us all back on the screen where we can see it. How about this? Before we get into the fire sale and the full discussion, of this, whatever this show is going to be, before we get to the Andy Dalton car crash, let's talk about the car crash that is the Carolina Panthers. Me and my friend Clip and I, radio Clip goes Pirate Radio 1250. You can check me out on Pirate Radio. They're on YouTube. They're doing it's a radio station, but now radio stations are making a big presence, just like we trendsetters that we were, right, on YouTube. I go on at 4:00. We do a Panthers segment. It used to be a half-hour Panther segment, but as the Panthers have continued to get worse and worse and worse, that segment gets a little shorter. And then we do more NFL overall. And then we do the second half, we do overall picks. When we go through the games and we talk about games of the week and stuff like this, I have a saying, and he loves it, and that is for games that you don't want to watch, I call them good dad games, and that is, this is a game that really stinks. Like, the teams stink. If you're not a fan of the team, you don't want to just spend your afternoon watching this game or your evening. A lot of times they'll be on a Thursday night or a Sunday night or something. And you say, hey, go be a good dad. Spend time with your family. It's a good dad game. Well, on Sunday, I wasn't on the post-game show, if some of you guys noticed. I took a good dad game. And I took my daughters. I don't know if you would call this a good dad move. I think there's some debate whether or not this is a good dad move. But as somebody who is trying to be cool dad at more than ever right now, I took my daughters to go see a Boogie with a Hoodie in Charlotte. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's fun.
Where'd I go see him?
It was at the Skyla Amphitheater. It's right down by the Music Factory. They call it the Music Factory and stuff like this. Is the right? So it's just a little amphitheater right downtown. You can see the skyscrapers pretty close. And so what a great day for a good dad game, and to be a good dad and to not watch the game. So I did not realize for the whole week until Friday that this was a 4:05 kickoff or whatever it was. Right. I thought, I just assumed everything's at 1:00. I was like, this game's gonna be over by 3:15. Really, probably.
By the way, this Sunday too.
Another one, 3 in a row.
Fucking another, and then after that is Germany. It's early in the morning.
Man, I'm not good with those. But so I'm driving. I got my daughters. We're listening to music. They don't want to. But I said, probably around Raleigh at this point. And I was like, I'm going to turn the radio on and check out this Panthers game. And I will tell you this. I have not watched one single snap of this game. And I'm going to watch one snap that my commander friend Clip sent to me. He said, you got to watch this. He wanted me to watch it the other night when I was hanging out with him. I said, no, not watching any of this game before the show. The moment I turn on the radio, the Panthers are down, I think, 10-0. Jaden Daniels gets hurt. You're like, oh, what a blessing. Maybe. Then the offense gets the ball, throws a pick.
Yeah.
And then not only do they throw a pick, but then Washington just like marches down the field again. And like, what's his name? Brian Robinson, I think.
Yeah,
smashes in for like, they just march freaking down the field like it's a wet paper bag of a defense. They scored that touchdown. I said, you know what? I'm not going to make my daughter suffer with me along with this. I put the music back on. That was right away. I mean, it was like 2 picks. It was terrible, awfulness. I haven't watched any of this game. In fact, tell me what the hell happened, because I thought that was bad, 17-0. And then the next, I actually turned on when we got to Charlotte for a few minutes, just kind of, get ready, get into the concert. Right. I turned on the post-game show. And Cody says, oh, we lost 37-7. And CK goes, no, it was 40 or whatever. The Carolina Panthers got fucking blanked. It sounds like Chuba Hubbard had a meaningless touchdown. What the hell happened to this team? Because it sounds like nothing was good, whether it be the offense had like 8 yards or something when I was listening to it.
So let me give you 2 things first, right? You made the right decision.
Best decision ever.
Yeah, choosing to be with your daughters. Dude, I don't care who you took them to see. It was a better decision than watching the Carolina Panthers. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because we had a cat caller who was in the doghouse because he said the wife and kids wanted me to come and carve pumpkins and do stuff with the family. And he was like, nah, the Panthers are going to be on. So I'm going to watch the game. Boy, he regretted that in the cat calls. And then his lady was upset with him. So as a general rule of thumb to anyone listening, if you have a chance to do something with your family or watch the Panthers, choose your family, dude.
Imagine putting your hands in those that gross pumpkin guts. Where you got
this is better.
You go, oh, this is way better.
This is way better than watching the fucking Carolina Panthers. Second, Tony, I did watch every snap of the game. And I don't fucking remember what happened, dude, because it's all a blur of terrible bullshit. That it's your brain tries to PTSD all the bad stuff away and not remember it. Man, Andy Dalton put on one of the worst quarterbacking performances of his career. This defense is just absolutely abysmal. It's the worst defense that I believe the Carolina Panthers have ever fielded. Dude, we cut Troy Hill, put Chow Smith-Wade in.
Oh, he had like 2 penalties in that 12 minutes that
he looked absolutely terrible. Yeah, man, we'll go over some of the
Somebody said in the comment, first of all, as somebody who is going through not the best part of their life right here, Tony Dunn, well, maybe it's actually for the better. How do you say this? Nanook of the North?
Nanook of the North.
He says, watching the Panthers makes me feel better about my own life. I second that. Dude. Let me see if I can give applause for that. CK, I guess this is the final, maybe not the final. It doesn't sound like there's really much to talk about other than how did Marcus Mariota, who couldn't score 9 points.
Patrick Mahomes, dude, Patrick Mariota. That was Patrick Mariota, dude. We made him look like a fucking superstar.
You said on the post game when I was listening, I listened to the post game for like 5 minutes too, because was at the, you said he looked like he was at Oregon.
Yeah, dude, he really did. He looked like the Heisman Trophy winner that people drafted him to be. Yeah.
All right, so CK, my question, and really probably the only question we need to talk about, then I'm going to react to this play. Did Bryce come in the game at any point?
He did. At the very end.
Yeah.
How much time do you think? When you say the very end, was it like 4 minutes, 2 minutes?
How about this?
12 minutes?
He went 2 for 2 for -4 yards.
Actually, that is kind of script of Bryce Young because do you remember the game that he had like he didn't have even 80 yards, I think, passing, but he was like 17 for 20 for 80 yards or something. So like completion percentage straight up there.
I had this later in the show, but we're talking about it now. These are the worst quarterbacking performance of the year this year. And we have the number 1 spot by Andy Dalton. And then number 3 spot is our very own Bryce Young. So we are the definition of embarrassment. We're the bad news bears. You know how Robbie Anderson said, who that bear?
What's that bear doing?
What a bad new bear, man.
What the only thing first, and then look at this is Watson has 2 of them up there. The only thing that would make this cooler to me is if we could get that list again at some point in the season, and the 2 quarterbacks were Andy Dalton and Bryce Young, and both in the same game.
Oh,
like
God.
First half, second half, and you had 2, and they still had the worst game. Like that would be epic, right?
I love this comment. Rare Gamer 99. At least we're number 1 at being the worst. Dude, it counts for something, doesn't it?
Oh gosh. All right. So I'm gonna watch this play. It was Dante. He just sent it to me. Dante Fowler, pick 6.
Oh, look, this is the one.
And this is like right in the beginning of the game.
Dalton throws it right to him.
All right. So I'm not going to play it so we get jazz, but I am turning it on right now. All right. The ad is about to go off.
We can't hear you, though.
Shotgun. 3rd and 9. Oh. It's like a 60-yard.
Dude, did you see Dalton try and tackle him at the end?
Yeah, I mean, he tried. Hold on, let me see what the hell happened here. Oh,
it went right by the head of Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, kind of got him in a blender, twisting around. You know, when Miles Sanders doesn't look like the worst player in that play, that's a feat in itself. Dude. And Dante Fowler, who I didn't even know was playing football for the Commanders, had his best play of his career.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I'm saying.
That was so game over at 11:20 in the first quarter.
We are literally the get right game for every single team that we play. We are the cure for all that ails you, baby. You just need to play the Panthers and you'll be all right. Truly.
All right, I think. Can you set up a super chat goal?
Sure. It would take me a second. You'll have to.
Yeah, no rush. But here's what I want to do: is let's do 10 super chats. Okay. Now, when you do a super chat goal and you give a super chat, you've got to mark that it's towards the goal.
Well, there's going to be a button at the top of the YouTube chat that will say the goal, and you click on that to donate.
This is the idea I'm pitching, and the only way that I'm going to feel confident that the listeners will want to do this is to reach this super chat goal. The idea that I want to pitch is that we as a panel do not watch the Denver Broncos game on Sunday, but we do the post game show. And then we have 4 or prearranged callers, and they have like 2 minutes, right, each. And they give us, so one takes the first quarter, one takes the second quarter, one takes the third quarter, one takes the fourth quarter, and we do a audio watch along live reaction to their calls of the summation of that quarter. So if you want to spare us having to watch the game, but also be the ones that explain the game to us, let's see if we can get this super chat going. And if you guys don't want to do that, you better.
How long do you want me to set a timer for? 15, 30, 45 minutes? Hour, 2 hours.
Let's do 30 minutes. Because nobody's going to remember this, if even that.
Right.
So,
30?
No, in the next
45?
Nah,
30 or 45?
Okay. No, I think we got to go short because we got to feel we need the pulse to see if you guys want to do this. So if we reach 10 super chats in the next, and you guys do this and indicate this, we won't watch the game, but we will do the post game show and wait for you guys to explain it and live react to your calls. And that means too that we don't look at Twitter. We don't look at anything involving the Carolina Panthers.
I mean, what you're telling me is that I get to go be a good dad.
Yeah. I mean, hey. So we'll see if that works out. Maybe we'll figure it out. All right. And does anybody know how bad Jaden Daniels' injury is? Because I haven't even Googled it. Like I have. We're selling our house right now. So
they haven't said specifically, but they're not saying like I haven't heard anything about it being like season ending or IR related or anything along those lines. So I can't imagine it's serious.
Rib injury, X-ray, rejoin. As far as Jaden, we've listed him as week to week. It's a rib injury. We'll monitor him closely. You know what he's going to be doing? He's going to be wearing the cam vest. All right. CK, before this game, the Carolina Panthers were on pace to set a historic record.
We didn't do much to.
Oh, no, we accelerate. We are reaching that goal. We are reaching record setting. Like we are on pace and further ahead. The Carolina Panthers going into this game against the Washington Commanders, we're on pace to give up the most points as a defense in the history of the NFL. In the history of the NFL. Now, not only is that a feat in itself, it's like actually doing the 77 Dolphins or whatever. Right. No, that's the undefeated. Who was the last team that won 0? Like maybe the Browns won 0 game. I don't know. But
Detroit Lions, I think, right?
Maybe. That's what this is. That would be like, and to me, what the worst part about this is that as a Panther fan for the last 21 years, really since Julius drafted, so much of in fact, the only real identity of the Carolina Panthers has been the defense. That's been the identity. It's been the idea, like it's been great defenses with an offense that was pleasantly surprising or kind of gunslingerish with Jake Delhomme and electric because of the attitude of Steve Smith. It was a great defense with an electric player like Ace Boogie on the other side. Yeah. But the Panthers have never been an offensively driven team. We've been smacked. Look, John Fox, when he came in here after the Carolina Panthers were a 1-15 team, or 2-14 when he took over. I think it was 1-15. He said, we got to get tough. We need John Fox as a fucking consultant here.
Now you sound like Panther Pickle. He's been saying we need that John Fox toughness. Hey, you're gonna have to try it. I just tried to do it on my end, and it's not letting me. But right. Tony, I will fill you in on this, right? So I know you probably heard that. So Jaden Daniels, he left the game, but he comes back on the field, dude, and it's like a scene from a movie. He's not in pads, smiling, waving to the crowd. Everyone's going bananas. Like, the dude is not hurt anywhere near as bad as the media is making it out to be. They just gave him the rest of that game off and saved his health for a later day and time.
Man.
I would say that I agree with that if it wasn't for the fact that this dude is 100% trying to go for that rookie record to try to beat what CJ Stroud. Like, he's got those stats written down so that he could try to beat that. So, I mean, I don't think anybody was holding him out of that game if he could come back in and play, just based on that information alone.
Cody, what is the dark blue, light blue, $1, $2, teal, $5?
That's just the color of it. It doesn't.
Okay. We'll go teal 30.
Whenever I hit the button at the end after I filled in everything, it wouldn't post. I don't know why.
I'm gonna say we will do a blind post game show narrated by you. Start
Yeah.
goal. Let's see if it works.
But yeah, dude, it was just so condescending to see Jaden run out on that field. And he's
The
all
goal is
smiling and happy and shit, dude. Like just smiled in ear to ear, man. And I think
And I hate to
was
say
like,
it,
yeah,
I love
let's
that dude. I think that dude's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, where is there something
could have drafted him.
to? Yeah, there's something to that though. I think CK because we like that dual quarterback. We like a story of a quarterback too
Sure.
that people didn't think was going to be as good, and he's dominating. And that motherfucker throws the deep ball like a chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, deep ball there. I like him too. I think, in fact, I think there was someone in the chat last week that said that the only reason they're going to watch the game is to watch Jaden Daniels, Frankie Louvu, and Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, and dude, they all balled out, man. Dude, everybody gets their get back against the Panthers, man.
All right, there's 30 minutes for you guys to try to help us. And we'll see. We'll just see if you guys want us to do a blind post-game show. I almost be like you were paying us to do a favor. Do us a favor.
Yeah, do more blind than Joey the Blind Panther, and that's hard to do. Shout out to Joey, man. We're all going to be the same for one Sunday, you know.
All right, look, we already got one towards the goal. Charlotte Sports 1 said, "Let's go." Great idea, Tony.
Let's go, Kyle.
Tough. Well, look, the car crash didn't stop on Sunday, but it happened again today. And Andy Dalton and his family were involved, according to the Carolina Panthers, in an accident day. I also heard his dog was involved.
Yeah, it was Andy, his wife, his 2 kids, and his dog. They were all in the car.
Now, the thing is there's so many people in this world that are more concerned about the dog than the people in the car.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many people in that. They're like, I wouldn't help a person on the side of the road, but if I see a dog out there, I'm going to help him. Anyway.
A lot of people think that this is the work of maybe some Bryce Young super fans that are just getting a real
intentionally pulling out in front of Andy Dalton.
Dude, they're trying to do some Wild and Coyote shit, you know. And hey, that's too far, man. I know a lot of y'all love Bryce, but come on, man, that's too much.
All right, so Andy Dalton is being evaluated by medical personnel. I wonder if the Carolina Panthers are going to find a way to not start him. But
by the way, your boy Kev says, "Nah, man, y'all got to suffer too."
Don't worry, we suffer enough on this damn show for everybody. Well,
no, I'm not paying you, and you're gonna watch it. Oh.
I know. I had to try to do something to make this damn show different. We got to use these goals in some ways. But Nanuka the North said he heard the dog was driving. Might not be true. Maybe that dog can play quarterback for us because we ain't got no dog in us now. All right. So Andy Dalton, it sounds like his family. Hopefully. Is he driving a van? What is he driving?
So this is what we were trying to figure out, me and Kevin and the boys in the chat.
Is that a side?
Chat. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is he in the blue car? No way, right?
No.
The dude is worth over $100 million at this point.
But look, that white car in the back, it looks like the door opens.
Yeah, it has a suicide doors.
Imagine if you're like, check out my minivan with the suicide doors.
Do you remember Teddy Bridgewater used to drive around in a minivan?
Yeah, and dress like Tadisha. Halloween's approaching, folks. Watch out for Tadisha Bridgewater out on them streets.
Oh, shit.
Right now, he would be better than this crap. She would be better than this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Blind show. Burby's helping us to the goal.
Snap.
We'll get Joey up here too.
Yeah, let's get everybody.
All right. Okay. So now that he is, I mean, we'll hear more about this, but it does not sound like, from the things that I've seen on Twitter, as well as some of the short press clippings I've seen, that the Carolina Panthers are really interested in playing Bryce Young. Or Dave Canales doesn't seem at all interested in that. So we'll see more about that. What we got next, Cody?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that here in a few minutes. But let's go over just some of the let me take this off the screen. Just some of the stats from the PFF numbers, just to kind of break down what type of performance that we were looking at. And I think one of the funniest things about this, Tony, and we've already mentioned it on the show before, is we're looking at the worst Panthers team ever, yet somehow, in some weird, bizarro world bullshit, it's low-key the best Panthers offensive line that we have ever fucking had, dude. And Brady Christensen continues to look like a franchise center, grading out at 85.22 for the second week in a row. 4 of the top 5 offensive grades belong to Carolina's Hog Mollies. Lewis led the pack in pass blocking, allowing 0 pressures over 22 opportunities. I mean, and look, just look at the numbers all up and down. We did not have one offensive lineman. I don't know what the right tackle was, but 4 of our offensive linemen scored above a 70, according to PFF. Man, it's just
I feel
such a cruel joke that so many other years we have the defense and the offensive line doesn't do shit. Now the offensive line is incredible, and our defense is like Swiss cheese, bro.
I feel like, and I mean, I don't, this is just like, maybe I'm just wanting this to be true, but like for the last 4 years that we've done, 6 years, I mean, we've been doing the podcast for 11, but the last 5 have been miserable. I don't know if we've ever had like anybody over a 70 on the offensive line. Like, it's like, oh, we're like, great day for whatever. And they had like a 67 PFF grade. Like, they're right here. It's incredible that you can be this bad with the offensive line playing this. It is a cruel, cruel world out there. Rare game. Look, some people they're excited about this. I like this. Look, he brought in a Thomas Davis quote here. Rare Gamer 99, who's contributing to the blind post-game show that would be also live reacted and narrated by the C3 callers. He said, I don't let this is a Thomas Davis quote. I don't let the blind spots of adversity block my vision of success.
Yeah, no, that's how you make a comment right there.
Well done, sir.
Very well done.
All right, so look, I think if anything, the idea is look, the Panthers have, well, first they invested a lot in this offensive line in the offseason by getting Robert Hunt, by getting, who's the other guy? Help me out.
Damian Lewis. Lewis.
Yeah, Damian Lewis. And then Austin Corbett came in, kind of a risk to take him, and where some people thought it was a real risk. A lot of people wanted to draft a center in the draft and really commit to the position group. Austin Corbett comes out and has really good first 3 weeks. I think it was 4 weeks. Suffers another season-ending injury. And then you got the question of would that offensive line hold up? But you've got Brady Christensen, who I believe is in a contract year.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We've bounced Brady Christensen around to so many different positions.
Maybe you found his home.
Yeah, well, maybe we found his home, but we have to pay him. After this year, he's a free agent.
Well, centers are not the most expensive position group on the offensive line, so that's kind of a blessing in one way.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to talk about a theoretical fire sale here as the Panthers close in on the trade deadline. So that's something that we're going to have to ask ourselves and, ask some real honest questions. What players do we see ourselves building around, and what players can we get some value for in the interim? But CK, comment on this offensive line, dude, is how you feel that this is maybe the best O-line on one of the worst teams we've ever seen?
I mean, we've talked about the curse of being a Panthers fan, and before we went after Bryce for about 2 years, we said, build that wall. We'd asked for it. We said, that's what we need. We thought we did it a couple of years ago. Didn't work. Because Bryce came in, we had the worst offensive line in the league, arguably. And then all of a sudden, the one thing that we have been praying and asking for and just really hopeful that we're going to be able to do, we do it. And everything else falls apart.
And not just falls apart, CK. We were ready for a team that didn't have a good defense.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's compounded by the fact that Bryce Young seems to be
you're right.
at least in the rear view to the team even.
Well, here's the thing is like we knew the defense was going to be the weakest link on this, right? For the most part, we were hoping at the very least. And then we lose Brown, you lose Shaq Thompson, you lose all these key pieces.
Yeah.
And we were already on a shoestring budget when it comes to our defense. Like we didn't have room to lose these guys. Jadeveon Clowney not suiting up last week. Like it's just we were already so thin. Anything more was going to be we couldn't overcome it. Even if our offense came out and played lights out every single game, we're not going to be able to overcome what this defense is not able to do, and that is really get anything moving our direction. That's you're not seeing. When's the last time we saw an interception? Week 1, week 2? I don't know. It was like J.C. Horn. I think we have one interception all year or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I think Xavier Woods has one. It's so. I mean, we're not like you're looking at the sacks. We're back at the bottom of the list of sacks. I don't know. I don't know what we could do to overcome the losses that we've had, not just on the games, but on the losses of these players. And so I am just, it's painful to see one side come back to life or one avenue that we thought was all we needed to compete. And now everything else is just worst in the NFL. Like, I really don't know how else to say it. And Cody keeps on saying worst Panthers defense. I am saying you can remove Panthers from the equation. Like, this legitimately is the worst defense as of right now on paper to ever grace the field of an NFL season so far. Like,
man,
could
they're
you
on pace
imagine?
to be historically bad when it comes to points allowed.
What did we say last week? We're on pace to give up the most points ever.
Yeah,
in
in the history of football.
Yeah, in the
history of
dude,
football.
it's been around over 100 years, y'all.
And by the way, hold on, listen to this. We were supposed to be in the easy part of our schedule right now.
Yeah, dude. Every time
we still have the Chiefs. You still have the Chiefs. You still have the Cowboys. You still have the Falcons again. You're going to have Tampa Bay, which, depending upon what's going on with their wide receivers, may not be that bad. We have a lot of people coming up that have the capability of scoring quickly and having explosive plays. Not to mention, some run games that we might be worried about coming down the pipeline with this run defense being absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? First, let's do this. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say let's get through these first 4 PFF slides because it's just a quick overview of the game. Who was semi good, which is almost no one, and who was terrible. So this is the worst of the offense. Panthers wide receiver David Moore, Diontae Johnson, Xavier Legette, Andy Dalton, and surprisingly, someone who was worse than Dalton is Yosh Nijman. Dalton had a 50.9 overall offensive grade. Was his worst in a start since week 18 of the 2022 season when the Panthers edged out his New Orleans Saints. He passed for a season low 93 yards and 2 interceptions. And again, man, this is going to continue the conversation about, do you play Andy Dalton or go back to Bryce Young? And this is not going to go away, man. This is going to be the question for the foreseeable future until a change is made or until a trade happens, which we're going to talk about later. But yeah, man, listen, as somebody who thinks that Andy Dalton is a markedly better quarterback than Bryce Young and still probably gives us the best chance, I understand why people are done with Dalton and they're ready to give Bryce another chance. I understand it. I might not necessarily agree with it, but I mean, dude, if you're throwing just as many interceptions as Bryce was, then what's what's the real difference at this point? Maybe you're pushing the ball downfield a little bit more, but if you have this commitment, at least you say, to running the football, then theoretically you could do the same thing with Bryce.
All right, what's next?
Yeah, so now we're going to we already showed
We
that.
already thought about that. Ugh.
So the worst of the defense, I did put the best of the defense, right? Oh, what the hell?
How could there be anything good on this?
Yeah,
defense?
this was I don't know how this got so moved. Yeah, but this is abysmal. J.C. Horn, Deshaun Williams, Xavier Woods, Chandler Wooten, Lonnie Johnson Jr. Again, people are saying, and I mean, I agree with this too, that the only bright spot on the defense is J.C. Horn, but everyone else is so bad around him that you don't really even notice when he does anything good because he's trying to make up for everyone else's shortcomings.
Well,
and
the thing
everyone else
is
being out of position.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said. I mean, we've talked about it a couple of times. It's it's looked like he's had a bad play, and there's always been that argument in many of those plays, whether that was J.C. Horn's assignment or if it was a zone that was completely not passed off correctly or not picked up in the pass off. But I think that it's a situation where you don't have to go after J.C. Horn if you're the opposing team. And the one side of the field you're not going to throw to, like, it's easy. Like, it's an easy situation. Let's be real about it. They don't have to throw a single thing, even though they did pretty effectively last week. They don't have to throw anything. They could literally just run the ball nonstop and have it be the shortest game in the history of NFL and still somehow run up 40 points on us.
Do you think that they did that because once if Jaden Daniels is in the game, they maybe have a different game plan, and that is to just conservatively pummel you. But once Marcus Mariota comes in there and you don't know what's going to happen as the future of a team that's doing really well right now, like the best team in the NFC East, right? You're going against the team that's Swiss cheese, and you could just shred them by running the ball, but you want to get Marcus Mariota some confidence. You want to, you built him up in this game to where he couldn't be built up in other ways, right? So I wonder, they're throwing the ball and they're up by 30. And they're taking shots probably, or at least that's what my buddy told me, because I was like, what the hell, man? And he's like, I thought they were just going to run. Nope. So it's interesting. You got Cliff Kingsbury out there just making fools of people. Do we have anything else to talk about? Because I need to talk about something.
Do it.
Talk about something.
All right.
Oh, well, it was just this, and it was funny. It was the bottom of the barrel, a bunch of fucking no names, and I saw this on Reddit. It's Halloween costumes, and it's the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, this is the time for that joke right there. Guys, Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I tell you what. That's got to be something that could make football interesting. While the Panthers suck, it's got to be awesome to win money. One of my good friends, he's a Jags fan. He lives a miserable life too, right? And he says he's like, it's one thing if the Jags lose, but it's another thing if I lose my parlay too. He goes, it's another thing if I lose my fantasy, but it's like if fantasy can pull me through, and daily fantasy for Underdog, that could pull you out and still keep you going as a football fan. Over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won. Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances or other athletes that aren't the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to give you guys a funny stat here about that in just a second. Compete against other players just by selecting higher or lower on 2 or more players' stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn every touchdown into a win with Underdog. Think about this. Right now, if you go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code C3, now they're going to give you some bonuses, right? We'll talk about that in just a second. But you go to underdogfantasy.com or use the easy-to-use Underdog app, and you can search by team. I searched by the Panthers. There's not a single stat for the Panthers, but there are 7 stats for players on the Broncos. Bo Nix, 190.5 passing yards, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Higher. Rush or all right. So Cortland Sutton, who was non-existent last week, does he get a touchdown? If he does, you get higher. You get 1.6 times your money by doing that. Javonte Williams, they're running rush and receiving touchdowns. If he gets one, higher, or 56.5 yards. That's a lock, dude. A running back against the Panthers, 56.5 yards. Come on. Higher. Think about those players, and we'll rack up higher than whatever that stat is, or lower than. Cook up some entries against the Panthers because you can't do any on the Panthers, or you could go to the NBA right now. NBA's playing right now. Saw the Celtics were smoking the Knicks tonight. Cook up some of those entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all football season long. Not only this, is that for football, they have vulture protection, guys. If you select a designated running back to score a touchdown in your pick'em entry and they get vultured, Underdog will rescue you. This is crazy too, or fun. Halloween's approaching. It's currently Boostober on Underdog, where there's a promo to play nearly every day. From now until October 27th, you can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. I tell you, when I go to Underdog, I just go look for the running back that's going to play the Carolina Panthers, and I go higher. That's what I do. Right? So, hey, that's a good strategy. Download the app today and use the promo code C3P to get your $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's C3P on underdog.com, or download the app, and you get up to be careful here, up to $1,000 in bonus cash. There's a disclaimer with everything in the world. You must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama or Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 older in Massachusetts, Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in NCO. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, it's 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783, or text next step to 53342. Call New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Holy cow.
Tony, I do say so myself. If you go back to the post-game show, I killed that fucking ad, dude. Dude, I just shot all the way through it. Next time, just toss it to your boy. I'll zip that shit right out there, bro.
Yeah, well, they gave us some new requirements. We got some new requirements. Underdog wants you guys to get up there and use the promo code C3P, and we need your help. And you need the help of winning some money instead of watching just misery. Cody, I want to hear from
C3P. It helps out the pod, man.
That really does. It really does. I want to hear from some callers, dude. That's what I want to hear. The numbers 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. We want to hear your thoughts on the Carolina Panthers, the status of the Carolina Panthers. We're going to come back to a question later in the show I posed that you guys tried to make me feel a little silly about. And that was the 2023 or 2024 season more miserable? Oh, that question's getting a little bit more difficult to answer, ain't it now, folks? And how about something I want you two to think about, and maybe the callers to think about? Will David Tepper hire 4 coaches in 4 years?
252-228-5098. Let's hear from him.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Play, Tony. Get out the way.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is James Williams from Concord, North Carolina.
What's up, James?
I just wanted to say that, I kind of want to rant a little bit, but let me say this right here, man. Hold on. Let me say this right here, okay? I'm sick and tired of these milquetoast Panther fans. Every time we are losing, talking about we need to kick the team out of the city. No. Our team is our team. Whether good
Someone said that
or
on the post game.
there should not be this winning only. Could you imagine the years that San Francisco had losing season? San Francisco telling the team that they don't want them no more? Or what about Atlanta or Minnesota or any of the teams that had losing decades? Bottom line is, we need to stick with our team no matter what. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. They actually, every year, even when they have losing seasons, they're hopeful enough to say, okay, we could go to the championship this year. That's the mindset us Panther fans need to have. We need to have a, ride or die mindset for our team. We shouldn't be at the fight of every loss or a losing season, we need to kick the team out of the season. We don't need this. No, we don't need. We need our team. Yeah, they're going to be good some years, and yes, there will be bad years. But the bottom line is, it's our team. So, guys, I just hope that you get this in love and appreciation. And I'm a true Stone Cold Carolina Panthers fan. And I hope the other Panther fans would be the same. But stop with this foolishness about we don't need a team no more.
That's frustration.
And that is sick and tiring. I get sick and tired of hearing that. And I know some of you guys do too, and everything. There's no team, whether baseball, basketball, football, or whatever, that's only winning. Only winning. Even the Lakers have losing seasons sometimes. You telling me when they have the losing season, LA needs to kick the team out of LA? Nah. So what I'm saying is to be faithful to the team. The team is in a situation right now. Yeah, it's a bad situation. But the bottom line is we got a team. This is our team. And we need support and ride for our team. So at the end of the day, we blame Tepper.
It's a difficult time. By the way, there's only 2 minutes left. It does not look like we're going to have to. Well, it looks like we're going to have to.
Not even close.
We're not going to get it. As Kev was right. He's like, Kev said, no, you got to watch and suffer with the rest of us.
I feel like that's
probably right.
We all got to suffer through this shit. Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of related to the call. It's kind of fucked up. Excuse my language. When you get clowned by children, like I have two daughters, like 13 and 11. Mm-hmm. I mean, they'll watch the Panthers, but they like their grandparents, all the family went to Georgia. And now, like, Georgia's been dominant for the last 3 years. So they're little bandwagon baby Georgia fans. And I'm getting clowned by these kids. Like, my 11-year-old's like, Georgia could beat the Panthers. I'm like, no, they could not. Because it really couldn't. I mean, it's so, I know everybody.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I know everybody thinks that with a pro team. I'm sorry, it's a different universe. But 11-year-old's clowning me. And I don't know if it was her or my daughter. They're like, why do you like this team? And I said, well, once you cheer for a team, they're like, once you pick a team, you got to stick with the team. It's like there's a special bond, or at least that's what it feels like. That's why they call them fans. That's why we call ourselves fans. That's what we're fanatics. The word comes from fanatics. I tell you, it's miserable, dude. It is miserable. And I've wondered and I felt, and we used to be like, I hope we're not the next Browns. I hope we're not the next Detroit Lions. All we can say is hope and pray one day that we come out and we're the Detroit Lions.
And that hopium, bro. That's all we can do is just hoping. Like, you're hoping every year that we can get out of our own way. Because
saw-
it really seems like the Panthers are their own worst enemy, their own worst nightmare. Like, we do the things that set us back. Whenever we take a step forward, the Panthers force us to take 2 steps back. It's the most embarrassing time to be a Panther.
Cover me on this call. We're going to listen. This is Chuck for Elizabeth City, I believe. He's going to call in twice. But cover me on this first part of the call, guys, and then I'm going to pull up this. Zach Luttrell, founder of the Roaring Riot, put out a call, for a cry for help, mental help today. I'm going to read it for you guys in just a minute. Take this call, guys, for me.
Hey, guys, it's Chuck from Elizabeth City. I got a couple things on my mind here. And this goes above and beyond us losing and looking like crap. This goes about challenging our fanhood. I know there's a lot of people who are weak, and I say weak because the minute you start losing, even start during the Super Bowl when we're 15-1 and we lost, people jump off the bandwagon quick. Well, the one thing I want to address, first thing, I really am tired of these people. You've got to be so freaking stupid. Talking about running David Tepper out of town. Yes, if David Tepper did something stupid, sexually assaulted someone or ended up killing some people or whatever, the man is a billionaire. He's rich. He's the kind of owner the NFL wants as far as what he has made of his money and who he is as a person now. But his football acumen is not too great as we can see. But my point is these stupid ass fans that come on and make comments. I've seen it, heard it on the radio. I've seen it on the internet. I've seen people scroll down on your show, run Tepper out of town. You know, it's dumb. Even if he is the main reason why we're losing. And I got news for you. He has hired and fired and gone with a young coach, gone with an old coach, went out and paid money for coaches. He's willing to pay. I'm not saying he does not have blame. But for people to say,
I've said
let's run him out of town, this is a combination of errors and mistakes, not just by Tepper, but by people who are hired and some bad luck. And look, it's just the way it is. You're not going to run the man out of town. Second thing is these people say, well, let's just give up on the team, or it's a reason why they're going to move to Austin, or they're going to move to San Antonio or St. Louis. So if our team is so bad nobody wants them, the minute they move to another city, they're automatically going to be winners and oh, wow. No, we all know this team was winning games that everybody would be great. The stadium would be filled. Everybody would love it like it used to be. Take a look back at Kansas City when they were 2-14. Cam's second year. They beat us. They were 2-14. They beat the Saints that year and us. The week they beat us.
Oh, is that the end of the call? Yeah, I think so. CK, I agree with a lot of what Chuck was saying there.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to call David Tepper the big bad guy, the villain. And I get it, man. Look, this is not any of us. Either Chuck, who said this himself, or me, or you, or Tony. Listen, everyone can find a bunch of fault with David Tepper, right? But listen, you want, as fucked up as it sounds, you want the owner of your NFL team to be rich AF, dude. You really do, because a lot of the issues that you see, for example, the owner of the Bengals going through, where they just don't know who to pay, how to pay, when to pay, because he can't have all that money in escrow like a lot of other owners can. David Tepper can do that. So if the Carolina Panthers, I know this seems like a magical fairyland at this point, but if the Carolina Panthers ever do finally get some momentum and get good, then they're going to have an owner that's going to be able to shut out the cash to bring the necessary free agents here, to sign the big contracts, to retain people. And when you have a guy that's that thirsty and that desperate for winning, he's going to do whatever it takes, whatever necessary. And yes, he's made a ton of dumb decisions too. He made a ton of the wrong hires. He also didn't interject when he probably should have. And then when he probably shouldn't have interjected, he did interject. So again, like David Tepper is also learning how to be an NFL owner.
Sure.
And I know that's infuriating because it takes patience that none of us have. But I think eventually, if we ever turn this around, having a type of owner like David Tepper is kind of going to benefit us.
Yeah.
Here's the last minute of the call.
Sorry, guys. Chuck from Elizabeth City. I just wanted to wrap up what I was saying from that first call. But the week that we lost to Kansas City, they had a player who shot himself in the parking lot, committed suicide. I believe he had killed his girlfriend or something. Over some jealousy. She went to a concert. Something happened. But he ended up taking his life. They rallied around that guy and beat us. They were a one-win team that year. We ended up winning, I think we won 7 games, 7-9, if I'm not mistaken. We might have been 6-10. It was Cam's second year, I believe. But my point is, even Kansas City, at their lowest time, winning 2 games, they ended up getting lucky and getting Mahomes a few years later, and where they are now. Doesn't work that way for everybody, guys. But 5 years from now could be different. These lulls we're going through, these hard times, and they are hard. You got to hang in there. Because not everything is given to us easy. I'm a diehard Panther fan, and if I stop rooting for the Panthers, it means I stop watching NFL football. I'm not rooting for someone else.
Right.
Well, yeah, there's nobody. I mean, we're committed. And to the first caller who said to the people that want the team to leave and stuff like this, that's the one thing that's going to make me not a Panthers fan if they leave. Right. Like that will be, I think, when we end the podcast, or at least when I'm not gonna give that investment to a team that leaves. But they also have one other thing, Kansas City, that Carolina Panthers don't. They have Andy Reid. By the way, Andy Reid, when he was the coach of the Eagles, was 13-1 after the bye week as the head coach of the Eagles. He's 8-3 now, 9-3 with the Chiefs after the bye. Andy Reid, freaking genius. That guy, what a coach. What a coach. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go to Scott in Winston-Salem.
Hey guys, it's Scott from Winston-Salem. I don't know, it's Monday night, maybe 9:45 or so. I did the same thing this Sunday as I did that one Sunday where I went out and built a sectional. This time I saw Andy throw the pick, and I told my wife, I'm going to go out here and build this fire pit. And that's exactly what I did. I have no idea what happened in the game. I was sitting in church and happened to catch the score, and I was like, well, good thing I didn't waste my time watching that. However,
yes, sir.
Listening to the Sunday night post-game show, I think it's Cody, CK, and Pickle, where I think it's at the point now where they're talking about our draft picks and, releasing second round and how second-round players are doing. So another thought is we have 9 draft picks. Yeah. Hypothetically, we were to be able to draft all 9 in the first round. So we pick up 2 defensive front line, 2 linebackers, and we get 5 defensive backs. Now, these are all rookies in the first round, we'll say. I'm pretty sure that veteran tight ends, veteran wide receivers, a veteran line, and a veteran quarterback are going to smoke all 9 of our first-round draft picks just because they're veterans and these guys have not caught up with NFL speed yet. I like Jonathan Brooks. I saw some of his games at Texas. I think he's a dynamic runner. And many people have come back from those injuries and are faster, make better cuts because they've had to, and are good football players. Same thing with baseball players when they have to have that UC ligament rebuild in their arm. A majority of them come back and they throw 5 mile an hour faster. They have better breaks on the curveball, better sliders, better fastballs, etc. So I don't think even if we were able to draft 9 first-round picks and shore up every bit of our defense, I still don't think we're going to be able to stop anybody because, like Cody said, they're all rookies. And these veterans are going to eat them alive, just like they do now when we put rookies out on the field. I think Pickle said we had a rookie corner got smoked. He did. He's a rookie, and he got beat. I don't know that there really is an answer. I do know Vero's got a role, though, because that 4-3 was a better dominant defense than a 3-4. So I really don't have any other talking points but that. And if you guys want to respond to it, you can. It's not a big deal. That was just some of my thoughts as I'm out here now walking my dog. But anyway, you guys put up a good show on Sunday.
And the dog is named the Carolina Panthers.
Unless I have other stuff to do. So you guys keep pounding, keep producing good shows.
What's that dog, Sir Purr, doing walking? Walking that dog.
But hey, like I said, this is yet another example. Choose to do better things with your time than forcing yourself to watch this terrible football team. But there's also a lot of truth to what you said about the rookies too. Like we're at this point in time where, you know, we have a lot of young guys on the team right now that are going to be a part of our future, like it or not. Guys like Xavier Leggett and guys like Ja'Tavion Sanders, who we're going to talk about in a little bit. And, you know, everything is so bad right now, and we're getting ready to talk about what players to trade and whatnot. But you're also having to toe this fine line of continuing to build your young guys. Like they're going through it right now. They're on a terrible football team, but you have to continue to add to their skill sets and really teach these guys like teachers should. You know, that's one of the things I heard Bill Belichick and even Mike Tomlin talk about when they've done interviews before is that, you know, these guys, they're not polished. They're not ready-made football players. They're not the best player that they can be right now. And so much of getting the ROI, the return on investment, is continuing to build to their strengths and their skill sets. And I'm worried that we're so bad and that we're trying to plug so many holes that maybe that can sort of seep through the cracks. So, for example, Charles Smith-Wade, right? The caller talked about him. He was terrible.
Pick, by the way.
Yeah, 5th round pick, but also he is not seeing any meaningful snaps.
Right.
And then he's forced to go in there, and then people see him get burnt and then call him a bunch of names. And dude, it's so unfair to the development of these players. That's something that we have to do so much better at, is continuing to watch our young players grow in a timely manner where, as a fan base, we want to pay them early, but we want to pay them before time, and we're not having to do this last minute thing like we're doing with J.C. Horn and Chuba Hubbard and now Brady Christensen. Add him to that list.
Where the hell is Jamie Robinson? Nowhere.
Oh, that was my other thing. People are done with this 3-4, Tony.
Yeah,
they're done with it. And it's taking a while It's taking a while for some people to come around. And I know that we're very injured on defense, but I said this during the Sunday show. You almost have to fire Vero on principle after a certain point. I mean, I know there's a lot of bad, but 3 years in a row of not being able to stop the run, dude, it's
even going farther back. We actually were so. I mean, think about why you drafted Derek Brown. That was why you drafted Derek Brown. Was like the Panthers have been poor against the run since 2018.
I
worry that it's just get worse and worse and worse.
I worry that we're not going to pull the trigger on getting rid of Evero because of how highly Canales spoke of him. And if he makes that choice in his first season after speaking, so I mean, I think he's going to look at it like there's a part of it that makes him look like either he can't evaluate that position correctly, meaning his defensive coordinator position, or he's just making rash decisions. And I don't think he is the type that wants that type of, I don't know the right word to say there, but doesn't seem like he's somebody who wants to be known as somebody who makes decisions in a rash way and a lack of thoughtfulness.
CK, there's no look. Is Evero's going to get let go, but there's no reason to let him go during the season. If you do that, it's a sacrifice to the football gods and fans. to just say somebody's got to get fired.
Right.
It's a blood sacrifice at this point. It's not going to make anything better at the end of the day on this team or whatever at that point. You know what I need? I need to pack some of that hopium in a pipe and smoke it.
Dude, puff
CK,
pass.
Tony Dunn, the great Cody Lack. What's going on, brothers? It's the Hope Dealer checking in.
What's up, Hope Dealer?
I got a list for y'all. Check this out. 10 things that require zero talent. 10 things that require zero talent. 1, being on time. 2, making an effort. 3, bringing high energy. 4, having a positive attitude. 5, passion. 6, body language. 7, being coachable. 8, doing extra. 9, being prepared. 10, having a strong work ethic. Those things require zero talent. How many of those things does the Carolina Panthers embody right now? Let's ask that question, C3 Nation, because from what I can see as the Hope Dealer, this community, the C3 Nation, has more passion, has more fire than these Carolina Panthers that's making millions of dollars a year. I said it last week. I don't care if they're backups. I don't care if they're second, third, fourth string. I don't care. They're getting paid millions of dollars to play this game. And yet this nation has more passion than they do. I'm sorry, the excuses have to stop. This doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, there's still hope. You know why, guys? I'll tell you why. With the 2025 number 1 overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select. That's the hope for this morning. That's your hope nugget, that hopium. Hey, boys, no matter what, keep pounding. I'm out. Love y'all.
Put that hopium in a pipe and smoke it right there.
Dude, the Hope Dealer he's been rocking the cat calls, man. Good for him. Every once in a while, we find another one of these eternal optimists. Like D's, D Money. Yeah, man, CK. We got the Hope Dealer coming in there, man. And dude, shout out to C3 Nation. He's right. There's way more fight in us and everyone in the chat than we've seen from the Carolina Panthers at all recently.
I just put up the poll that's kind of building on a discussion that I posed over 2 weeks ago about 2 weeks ago that seemed ridiculous to a lot of people at the time. And that was, what is worse, the 2023 season or 2024 season? There's a poll in the chat right now. We'd love to get you guys. People are participating right now. What season will be worse to your football soul in the end? The 2023 season or 2024 season?
Still 2023.
Bouncing back and forth, bro. I don't know how many more weeks we got, CK, where that's going to be the number. Let's see. This 50-50 right at the moment. 14 votes. It's split 7-7.
I'll sway this super quickly. We have the number 1 overall pick potentially.
Yeah.
We did not last year. We were the worst team in the NFL last year. If right now, arguably, we're the worst team in the NFL this year. But the difference in this is that we have the ability to be hopeful. Like it's not saying that it's going to be a guarantee that we're going to be doing something spectacular. But I tell you what, it feels a heck of a lot better than what we saw last year, because last year we didn't have anything to build on. Like we didn't have a second round this year. Well, guess what? We have both a first and a second. And by the end of this season,
we've got the 1, the 33.
Yeah, I'm gonna venture to guess that we're going to, but we won't have 33, by the way, because our second round is the Rams. Second or their second round. Our second round is still the Bears. So the Bears still have a really good second round from us. But even with all of that, I mean, you're not looking at a situation where we just don't know where we're going. Last year, we didn't know. We didn't have a coach that we knew we were moving forward with. We didn't know what we were going to do in the draft. We had no clue any of that stuff. This year, we have an idea, and I think that's enough to make it worth being a little bit more hopeful.
Yeah. Also, again, I know a lot of y'all aren't college ball fans, but Travis Hunter is the big name in the draft right now. He's this guy that's he's a corner and he's a wide receiver and he's very good at both. So a lot of people are already saying, and Tony, you alluded to it a little bit earlier, and I regret not putting it in the presentation now. But now that Russell Wilson has come back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a lot of people are looking yet again at Justin Fields to potentially come here. And I think when you look at this offensive line, we have a good offensive line running the football and passing the football. And we did this in 2022 after we didn't hire Steve Wilkes, where we thought that because we were running the ball so good in 2022, that good offensive line was going to transfer over into 2023. That's part of the reason why people were so excited about Bryce Young's potential in that offense last year. Well, that didn't turn out because we were forcing Bryce to pass the football. Right. The O-line wasn't good at pass protecting, and we didn't have wide receivers that were getting open separation. Now you have a plethora of draft picks. If you can go and get a decent, serviceable quarterback like a Justin Fields, who I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't mind, especially if he's something of a shorter bridge to the future if you want to build up the team in other ways. If you're not going to draft a quarterback, like CK has mentioned, this isn't the draft with name quarterbacks that people are fawning over and dying for. Maybe outside of Shador, but Dion would never let him come here anyway. So now we're at a point where it's like you can see how there's a little bit more of a path forward after this year, where at the end of last year, dude, we were just feeling like there was no hope in the world. Not having our first round pick, not having the second, like CK said to us. My vote is on last year feeling.
The poll, it's a tight poll right now. 25 votes in the poll. Go ahead and get in at what season will be the worst to your football soul in the end. 2024 is leading with 52%. Shout out
a wild thought. I don't understand how
maybe it's the amount of crushed dreams that Bryce isn't.
Yeah, I think that's a big. I think that's a factor. There is how much that you were hoping that this. It seems. Yeah, it seems like now Bryce is an afterthought to the organization. Yeah, it's one thing to fans to be like, because we had so much investment. There was there was a polarization that was surprising for a guy who is like the least polarizing personality in the world. I thought Cam Newton would always be the most polarizing player in Panther football. And then like all of a sudden Bryce Young splits Panther Nation more than anybody.
Tony, you hit the nail on the head when you said we never thought we would see another quarterback or let alone player more controversial than Cam Newton. Dude, we're 2 years into it. We might already be at the end of Bryce Young's career, and he will hands down be the most controversial quarterback that the Panthers have ever had, dude.
Imagine being the nicest person in the world and you're the most controversial person.
Isn't that wild?
He doesn't dress in scarves and shit. He doesn't wear crazy hats.
I mean, like Cam Newton, it's like Cam Newton had it was like, to me, it was like the Obama effect, the Trump effect is like you either loved him or hate him.
Right.
In between on that. I just did not see that happening with Bryce, regardless of if he was good, bad, something. I just didn't ever see this coming, but it was there. I want to shout out C3 superfan Kristen Butler, who is saddling up at the C3 bar. I got you, girl. Tequila shots, extra training wheels. She says, I just got salt, honestly. So we're pouring up the tequila shots. We need extra training wheels. And that, if you guys don't drink tequila, you go to the bar and you ask for a tequila shot. Sometimes the bartender will say this, or you just say, I need the training wheels or I don't. That's the salt and the lime. Extra training wheels. This bicycle is so wobbly. We need training wheels on the back wheel and the front wheel. This kid never learned how to ride a bike. And that kid is the Carolina Panthers. The number's 252-228-5098. I'm going to come. You know what? I'm going to take a call.
And then we got
I want to take a call from like closer to the timeline. So we're not just doing calls from yesterday first, right? So here we go. Let's see what we got.
Hey, 3 Panthers Musketeers. How you doing, man? This is Uncle Leroy, man.
Leroy.
Name, name I never forgot. His name, man, I'm getting tired of this BS, man. I'm getting tired of something asking Alex. I feel like he's all about spirit fingers. Like, I have spirit and you guys have faith in you guys. Even if you get burnt, keep going. Like number 21, Scott, whatever the hell his name is, he sucks. He's always getting burnt. Like, bro, I'm just at this point. And then all of a sudden, Andy Dalton got in a car accident. Now, I guess this is leading to putting Bryce Young in the game, man. Like, which it doesn't make it any better, but what worse can he do? Shit, you might as well put the water boy in the game. Shit, maybe he could do better. Man, at this point, being a Panthers fan, I'm just tired. I'm tired, man. As I said before, they say keep pounding, but I think I'm going to keep drowning. Drowning in faith. Lord of Point. You guys have a good night.
Oh, hold on. He's got a little bit more for us because we got to hit the bad Leroy Brown voice right
I'm
now.
going to get tired. Another thing. I'm going to get tired of that David Tepper, Nicole Tepper. Since we've had them, it's been nothing but a damn bullshit ass fucking curse. It's pissing me off and grinding my motherfucking gears. Toast. Which we are toast. But, yeah, that's what I said. Keep down. I'm going to keep drowning. Guys, have a good night.
And he's got 56 more seconds to give you some.
Uncle Elroy.
Family, how y'all doing, man? This is Swap.
Okay, no, we're gonna come back.
That's
to that.
Uncle Elroy.
Hey, Panther family, how y'all doing, man?
All right. We're coming back to that call in just a second. I'm gonna lob this up. CK, we need your golden pipes, bro.
All right.
We need them. There are 120 people. There were 121 just watching on YouTube. There were 48 thumbs up. And all I know is that the Panthers deserve some shame. And I think it's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you have joined the C3 Panthers Podcast here on the C3 YouTube. Maybe you're on X, maybe you're on Facebook. You've come to talk about how bad this team is, the state of the Carolina Panthers, as most YouTube videos are stating right now. But you've come in, you've sat down, you've enjoyed the conversation, and you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet. Well, I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
Yes, sir. 119 viewers. I believe we got around 45 likes. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification bell. For every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live, through all the misery that the Carolina Panthers put us through, one pod is year-round consistent, there for Carolina Panther fans every single week of the year. That's right. This is C3 Panthers Podcast, baby. Show some love to us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. And hey, check out our sponsor, UnderdogFantasy.com. Use code CP3. Makes you some money playing daily fantasy sports, man. It helps us out, helps us grow, helps us to continue to be your therapy session. Tony, you want to jump back into some of this
let's do
show?
One last call. One more call. Not one last call. We're coming back to your calls, but let's just do this call because I got it queued up. I don't want to forget. And then we're getting back into the show.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Panther family, how y'all doing, man? This is Suave, the Smooth Goat from Charlotte, North Carolina, man. I'm a Panthers fan, man. Man, bro, we're so bad. Like, I'm about to start calling in to work on Sundays now. You know, I have off days.
He wants to
on
go
Sundays,
to
but
work.
it's that bad. And now I feel like I gotta go for the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, that's my deceased brother's team, man. And bro, I'd rather watch wins than bullshit. We are diarrhea, like shitty water. Like it doesn't even make no sense.
Cholera.
Man. And I think with some development, I think Sean Smith would be a nice little piece, man. Just remember that's why they said that. But we need to get a quarterback in the draft. I don't feel like Bryce Young is it, and he don't need it. And Dane Jackson sucks. I'm sorry. But that's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. No, this is typhoid. We got typhoid dysentery right now. That's a bit bad water right there. All right, Cody. Thanks for the call. Well, we got more calls coming to you guys in just a few minutes. The number's 252-228-5098. Lock arms with the C3 Panthers podcast as we continue to have group therapy on Tuesday nights and after the games. And on Friday nights, you can be a part of the Friday free-for-all. Cody Lack, I think the big part of the show, though, the focal point, we're an hour and 26 minutes in, and now we're hitting the real juju, the real juice, the conversation. The Carolina Panthers, should they have a fire sale? They can't be buyers by any means.
No, well, this is from Sports Illustrated, and they listen, this is what we're dealing with right now. We're talking about what players could potentially give us the most value in trades, and this is from Joe Person. It says the Panthers are on their way to a 7th consecutive losing season. Andy Dalton has made the offense competent, but the injury-plagued defense is threatening to give up more points than any team in NFL history. So, yes, first-year GM Dan Morgan should be in major pick recouping mode. Teams have called about Bryce Young, but Morgan isn't just going to give away the 2023 number 1 overall pick. With rookie running back Jonathan Brooks soon set to make his debut, Miles Sanders should be on the block.
Who wants him?
Ditto for veteran receivers, Diontae Johnson and Adam Thielen. They even mentioned edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney. And, dude, Person's really going here, man. He said, and defensive backs J.C. Horn and Xavier Woods. So now we're getting to that question of, draft picks versus what are you building around in the future? If you trade literally every player worth of value right now, then that's just more holes that you have to fill. At the same time, we've been so bad. And, boys, we've talked about this before. The Carolina Panthers never fully commit to a rebuild. They never do. They always do this is a retooling. This is a reworking or whatever kind of bullshit line that they feed us every time we're in a position to do this. Now I feel like we actually can. And I'm going to be honest, man, outside of J.C. Horn, I really don't give a fuck out of all those names who they decide to trade.
I really put Chuba Hubbard up there, to be honest. Why would anybody want Miles Sanders? And I'm with you.
Man, I don't want to.
I understand that, but Cody, that is a replaceable position group, if anything.
And we drafted Brooks.
J.C. Horn, though, to me, I went on a Commanders podcast, and they asked about buying and selling and who's on the table. And I just started off with saying the only player to me that's not on the table are the offensive guards we just signed in the offseason, right? Right. Derek Brown, who you paid big and it's hurt. Nobody's going to want him on the trade right now. And J.C. Horn. To me, it's J.C. Horn. By the way, I guess the number one name on that list of people that would maybe get you some value, far more than Adam Thielen, is Deontay Johnson. And Deontay Johnson, this is a story on CBS by Tyler Sullivan.
Oh, and I got to play a video, too, that's relevant to this.
Deontay Johnson admits frustration amid Panther struggles.
Yeah, let me play that clip. Yeah. It's actually really funny, too, because it's the truth, but you can also just hear the frustration. Yeah. So, one second.
This is the centerpiece of that story, this clip right here.
Yeah.
I mean, frustrated, but I can't play every position on the field and every play. So everybody got to do their job when it comes down to it. So, but yeah, it's tough, but I just tell myself to keep moving regardless.
Basically, he said, "Hey, I can only do what I can do, but if everyone else sucks, ain't shit I can do about it."
I was listening to the radio that 5 minutes or 12 minutes I rode in the car of misery, where then we turned back on the music. Andy Dalton threw a pick, and Andy Dalton was frustrated. He thought that there was a miscommunication between him and Deontay Johnson. I like this. Deontay Johnson's like, fuck all y'all. I'm doing my
he's like, hey, man, I can't fucking do y'all job for you, bro. Like, y'all just, y'all got to step y'all shit. And by the way, PFF, no, he was in the bottom of the PFF list.
Yeah, he was. He was
in the bottom of it. So, hey, man, but again, he's also been one of the bright spots of this Panthers offense. Like he's been the number one wide receiver whenever we have a good performance, which is very few and far between. Shout out to Vegas Panthers. Jury says a rebuild doesn't mean trade all talented players. And you're right, it doesn't. But I feel like you're having to determine what players matter to you and what you want to build around in the future and how much it's going to cost to do so. I mean, I agree with you, Tony. I'm never going to not be a fan of Chuba Hubbard, but he's probably expendable. Again, Miles Sanders.
That brings value. Miles Sanders. Nobody wants Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I mean,
trading for him. Who the hell's trading for an old ass Adam Thielen with a bum wheel?
Fucking Burberry biscuit.
I mean,
that's all.
Yeah, that's the only people that are going to be doing that, are people who are like, I would say people that we're not going to trade to, but the Tampa Bay Bucks. People who are looking for a guy to come in and fill in a role that, maybe a guy with experience like, Adam Thielen could be helpful with.
Deontay Johnson to the Bucks right now. How about that? Inter-division, inter.
Yeah. No,
well, a lot of the
why not? Screw it. We're not winning this division. Who cares?
The teams that I've been hearing the most that would be interested in a Diontae Johnson would be the Kansas City Chiefs or the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Chargers played the Cardinals last night. And dude, Justin Herbert
game, by the
help. The Cardinals, they won on a last-second field goal. Yeah, man. But it's they need some more help. And there's a lot of teams where Deontay Johnson would be able to slide right in and be able to be a good player for them right away.
11. Good.
No, I'm just saying. So, like, out of all the players, like, yeah, you can say J.C. Horn probably fetches the most, being young, and we all think is a legit shutdown corner who'd probably be way better on another team. But this has been the name that is, outside of another player who we're getting ready to talk about. This is the player who's been subject of the most rumors and the most discussion. And like, my question is, like, do we want to get rid of Deontay Johnson? Do we want to trade him? And I know we talked about this last Tuesday also, so we're kind of rehashing it, and we'll probably continue to do so until the trade happens. But I don't know, man. Is it worth it to pay him? And I even heard some rumors that they are trying to pay Deontay, the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
That they do want to pay him for next year. I don't know if this is indeed the truth or not, but, what type of compensation do you think Deontay Johnson even goes for?
I don't know what the number is, but the Panthers are going to pay him more than he should get, because you're going to have to pay everybody more than they should get, a little bit more. You got to look. I mean, he's frustrated. Why the hell does he want to stay? This guy don't want to stay here. Trade this mug. Trade. You know what? Free Chuba.
But nobody wants to stay here, dude. It's who are you going to make stay here to try and build this team for the future?
That's why you start trading, because they don't want to be here. Might as well go get some players that haven't felt this pain yet. Shout out to the 11 people, by the way, that felt the shame of CK's beautiful pipes and gave us a thumbs up. There's still over 100 people watching. Let's smash those thumbs up button. Do something good. Keep pounding those thumbs up for us. Yeah, I mean, CK is like, I'm trading all of these people because it's like freeing them. I'm freeing these people. It's like letting people out of jail that went to jail for weed.
Yeah, but the only, again, and I agree with Drew to an extent on this as well. I think everybody has a valid point, and you don't trade away your, talented players, because that's going to make your rebuild that much longer and that much more tedious. Because here's the thing, you trade them away, you've got to hit on the draft pick, right? And I can tell you the majority of people that are successful teams would rather bank on a surefire thing than go into the second round and hope that they're able to pick a guy out who's going to be able to contribute at a higher level than what the person we're trading away is able to do. So, I mean, I get
but you have mindset. To pay those people.
Yeah, but you're going to have to pay them.
I mean, you don't just get to keep them and they're a proven asset. You have to pay them money that keep. This team is so far away.
Well, and that may be the case, but even if trading them away, it makes it that much farther. Like, that's what I'm stating. Like, yeah, you might have to pay them, but you're going to have to pay somebody else to fill that role. Like right now, we don't have any superstars. We've paid like somehow we're still,
some broke.
Broke people.
This is like me. I'm broke. I don't even know how. I was like, how am I this broke, man? And I'm like, I don't even do that. The most I bought is a fucking new hat.
My entire thing. I don't know what we would do if we got rid of our best players. You think we'd look bad now? Like, look what's happened when we got rid of when Derek Brown went down. Right. I'm not saying our defense was like monsters.
God, they were terrible when he was in.
But they're think about quarter. Right. So let's build around him as opposed to getting another weakness and another position we're going to have to fill. Like, let him be an anchor. Let these guys that are I wouldn't say superstars, but let these guys that are play at a higher level than a rookie is going to. And let's build from there. And here's the thing:
they don't want to be here, CK. They don't want to be.
Nobody's
Deontay
going
Johnson
to want
trade
to be here.
that mug. Look. You see the frustration. Man, he don't want to be in Carolina.
Do you think Thomas Davis wanted to be here in 2010? Do you think any of these guys that we consider legends as for this team wanted to be here from 2010 to 2011 to 2012, 2014? Like, for 4 years, we were, considered a horrible team. You know what I mean? Like, and these guys still stuck around. And guess what? They became legends, and they became people who came back to the Carolinas and call this their home now. So today, sure, that sucks to be on this team, but winning
only
changes
one
a lot
player
of
that was a legend on that team. That Thomas Davis is the only name. Greg Olsen wasn't here during that.
He was here during the first part of it.
Wasn't not, but he wasn't here in that 2010 year. He didn't come in until 2011 with Cam in the trade. I mean, like, you almost need a cold, fresh breath of fresh air. I saw JC Horn talking about the frustration of not only dealing with injuries earlier in the season, but the frustration of being on a losing team. And it's weighing on these guys. Now, I think JC Horn is the guy that you need to keep. I think Diontae Johnson, real nice player. I said this as like my new favorite player on the Panthers. It's a good player, but he's not irreplaceable.
No. But with the Deontay Johnson, like, that one makes sense to me, right? Because I do believe that what he brings to the table is something that you can get in the draft, if not better. Maybe not this draft, but in future drafts, or maybe you can find that in the wide receiver market afterwards. Like, Deontay Johnson he is a good player, and I think he does again, based on everything we've seen, he brings things to the table that we don't have. But again, like you said, they're not irreplaceable. But I'm talking about those, like the JC Horns. Right.
Yeah, I think he's the one. I think he's the only one, CK, that you say this is our defense stinks, and that's one good player. He's one good player who's young, and when he's been out there, he's been very, very good. He's been. I don't hear JC Horn elite conversations anymore right now, but I think anybody's not using that word anywhere associated with anything with the Panthers. But he is the one player that is borderline could be superstar on a good team. That's a guy you build around. Diontae Johnson, last year's contract, has no ties to the Carolina Panthers, really.
And can we be honest? Well, let's be really honest. He's the number one on our team.
Yeah.
But on any other team,
he's a good number two.
He's like a good number two. And that's not a knock on him. You can really use a good number two.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a great exposition. It is a decoy for everyone else. But yeah, I mean, Deontay Johnson, we're hoping that Xavier Leggett is going to be the number one wide receiver in this offense one day.
Sure.
So I can understand. I understand the reasons why you might want to move on from him. And dude, Tony, listen, we've both said this. We don't love any player on this team, dude. There's no more Thomas Davises. There's no more Greg Olsons. There's no more Khalils. It's no Cam Newton, no Greg Olsen, no Luke Kuechly. These players are all expendable to us. Like, they really are. There's no one that we really love. So again, I don't necessarily want to just have to draft every position outside of the offensive line the next 2 years. But dude, if we have to, we have to, man. I'm ready to start over. And I know that we say that every year seemingly, but it's the truth, man. Like I'm ready to do something new.
Shout out to Vegas Panthers Drew with a
2 of them.
Oh wow!
We did read that. My bad. Just a $10.
But well, he's already done 2. Let's
Yeah.
up it to 12 total. $10 C3 bomb. I think any rookie QB, he writes, we draft next year will need starting quality wide receivers if you want them to improve. We should at least franchise tag Deontay Johnson for the good of building team. I want a QB. I want QB Aller from Penn State. I think this, and people are going to hate this, and I like Diontae Johnson. I get your point, too. It's like you need to have some talent out there. We saw last year a team with no talent at wide receiver and how difficult it was for all of this. But I really don't believe we know that look, you can just read it on Deontay Johnson's face. This season, I think, has ruined his desire to be on this squad. It's going to take some big ass money to make that. Now you get the franchise tag. I don't think he has the clout to sit out a franchise tag, but you're not endearing him overall. I think you trade this guy. People are going to hate this. I think you trade away Chuba Hubbard right now. Wow, he has been running hot all day. And I don't know if we just missed it. We need like Aaron Jones to go down for the Vikings, who came back and had a. You need a team that is not the Kansas City Chiefs, who can just get Kareem Hunt off the fucking couch and all of a sudden this dude is great again.
Yeah.
You need a team that is pushing to win right now that needs a back. I'm trading you, and it's not because, look, as somebody who I didn't like Chuba Hubbard, but look, I'm ready to say, look, this dude's been great this season. And
if I had to buy any jersey right now of any player, it would be Chuba Hubbard.
You would buy it right now, not knowing that he's going to be on the team?
I'm just saying, like, if I had to buy a jersey of a player on this team, the only one I would want is a Chuba Hubbard.
I'm Deontay Johnson to Tampa Bay and Chuba Hubbard to somebody. I don't know if my man Kyle was saying Dallas maybe for a running back. Oh, maybe that's what he's saying. Chuba Hubbard to Dallas, maybe. Anyway,
we have go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I gotta say.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because we haven't even talked about the biggest trade rumor.
Let's hear it. This is not the biggest trade. This is, to me, the least interesting trade out of all the people on the team.
So I'm gonna play a clip from the Chase Daniels podcast, and dude, they're using StreamYard like us. So if they fucking demonetize us for playing another pod like this, I'm gonna do a backflip. But this was Diana Rossini talking to Chase Daniel on his podcast, and this is about Bryce Young. And I'll just let
quarterback Chase Daniel.
Yes. So I'll let you hear it from her.
On Bryce Young, I know teams called the Panthers when they benched him to see if that team would be open to maybe possibly trading.
By the way, Diana, total QB.
Right? Because
I don't know, bulldogish.
The resurrection of the quarterback that was trash showed up.
Italian girl.
For a new one. So I think there's a lot of coaches and GMs out there kind of licking their chops going, maybe we can do something with him. Because remember, he scored really high in the draft. Obviously, he went number 1 overall. The Panthers weren't the only team that had Bryce Young as number 1 in terms of talent at the quarterback spot. So keeping an eye on Bryce.
All right, so that's it. He's pretty much talking about.
What did he say back?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much just talking about keeping an eye on him at the trade deadline. And he's like, he rolls. Yeah, watch.
Young. I know.
Look, that face right there. It's like, I don't know, dude.
I think so.
And that's my reaction. Like, is someone really looking at Bryce and saying, "Oh, I have to have that guy"?
No, nobody is saying. What they're saying is this: there is a team out there who doesn't need a quarterback, but kind of does, and they're going, "Hey, we could get this guy for a 5th round pick."
Yeah.
Like, what's a 5th round pick to us? What happens if it doesn't work out?
So, by the way,
that's the face it makes. But here's the thing, Cody, is this is the most bothersome part to me. And I think this is why I am kind of with the 2024 season.
No teams called
Being the sad season to me. And you make
the
a very
Panthers
compelling
when they
argument.
benched him.
Can we stop listening
see
to
if
this?
that team would be?
Oh, is it not? I thought.
Yeah, it keeps playing in the background. You make a very logical argument about the draft and that. But to me, there's an ego thing here that comes in with Bryce Young. And it is the moment you say this marriage can't work anymore. There's no more trying. To me, it's like a stock. At some point is this. The only time if I don't need that money on a stock, I bought a stupid ass stock, FUBU, because I thought, hey, and actually I have FUBU as a stock, and I bought it because it was a cheap stock. It's I got it like $2.30, so you could get like 100 shares of it, And what FUBU does is it's a stock that it doesn't matter if the company is good, is that if the stock market rides a stellar wave, like if the stock market as a whole shoots up, it will benefit just by table scraps. But FUBU, buying it at 230, is sitting there at like 130 right now. And it's not a good company. But I lose when I sell it. And when we trade Bryce Young, it is the official admission
of defeat and
of the worst type of defeat, like you've been saying. The worst type, not just a loss, not just a missed draft pick, Cody, a missed draft pick with all of the implications, not only of a trade, the number 1 overall pick, the future. There's an ego there that I just don't. I'd rather make that motherfucker sit on the bench for a full rookie contract. That's what I would say. I'm like, you're coming to the meetings, bitch. You're coming here. I don't care. I'm not trading you for a 5th round pick. You can pick up fucking garbage in the parking lot.
So I won't be long now. I'll let CK go on this. Tony, I put on Twitter, if we trade Bryce before the deadline for anything less than a 1st round pick, I'm quitting this fucking team. And by the way, I know that they're not getting a 1st round pick, but it's the principle that you're talking about alone. For us to have given up so much for him, and you're going to give up a guy on a rookie contract who still has 3 years left of being on a rookie contract,
I'm making them
and we're already going to just ship him down the road. That's why I said this earlier. The last time we talked about this, we have no obligation to do the quote unquote right thing by Bryce Young. Who gives a fuck that he's on a team that doesn't believe on him or believe in him? Who gives a fuck that he has to ride the bench for a little while? Who gives an absolute fuck? It's not me. I'm not ready to take that absolute embarrassment and have nothing to show for it. Dude, if it's not a 1st round pick, I'll fucking go down to Mint Street and egg David Tepper's office window, bro.
CK, I would rather for him, instead of us getting a 5th round pick for Bryce Young, I would rather for him to be a healthy scratch for the next 3 years. I really would. I mean, and I don't dislike Bryce, and I don't necessarily know if it's as broken or whatever the fuck. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know how. I asked you guys at the beginning of the show when I said, did he play? And you said, CK said, yeah, for a little bit. And Cody goes, he was 2 for 2 for -4 yards. I don't even know how this fucking happens to a guy that was supposed to be the future of the team. Don't understand it. But if we trade that motherfucker for a 6,
Yeah, they're just admitting, hey, we're just idiots that don't know shit about football. And
Well,
dude,
I mean, I don't
I'm
think
a,
that's
I'm a,
them admitting that though. Like, in all fairness, I think
sunk cost.
but if it's only a
sure.
fifth, why do it at that point? If it's only a fifth or a sixth or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I
Or
mean,
Jamie Robinson.
it's number one. I mean, some people have talked about the distraction that this causes, right?
Okay.
When you have a guy on the team who is, obviously has a high pedigree, being that let's be real about it, he's getting paid more than the starter is at this point, right? And so when you have those types of things, I mean, that's going to be a natural, a straight up natural distraction. Like, because what's happening right now? We're having this conversation. Reporters are asking the coaches about it, probably asking the players about it. Has already asked Bryce Young about it. It's like it is a distraction in and of itself. And so absolutely. I mean, I think there is a potential that you see a trade happen, not because they want to, but because of the overall, like, it's just going to be better to move on and pull the Band-Aid off and go on with their day. Now, do I agree with it? No, because again, I'm right there with you, Tony. I mean, and you, Cody, I'd rather see the guy on the team and potentially, have him turn out to be something, because what's going to happen, and I'm telling you, I know many people probably don't believe this, but anytime that somebody leaves the Panthers, they go and have a resurgence in their career. Like, it's just the way that it works in the past 5 years. And so I'm not going to say anybody, because there obviously have been some outliers on that front. But, when you're talking about a high profile pick like that, you're dealing with, you're seeing that change happen, or that you're seeing that that jump in their pedigree and their athleticism and their talent, and people talking highly about them. Let's talk about Chin. Let's talk about obviously CMC, which is a bit of a weird one because he was already always the lead. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Like, people come here, have a bad part of their career, and then they go somewhere else when they're a superstar.
Yeah, well, Sam Darnold didn't just walk out the door and was great right away.
He didn't really
Baker didn't just walk out right the door is great, right?
Yeah, Baker he left week one and he went to the Rams and had a major comeback.
He didn't go to the Raiders. It was the Rams, and that's who they played, the Raiders, but then he played that one game, and then yeah. All right, imagine this: you trade Bryce Young this year for a 5th round pick. Imagine trading the 9th overall. The Bears got the 9th overall pick, a 2nd round selection in 2021, which a 1st round pick in 2024, a 2nd round pick in 2025. DJ Moore, you traded all of that for Jamie fucking Robinson or Chow Smith Wade. Think of that 5th round pick.
Saying, like, why do it?
Now there is one reason.
Like, well, I'll say this too, dude, and this is not necessarily our fans, right? C3 fans, hey, y'all are cool. Y'all know what's up. But Panthers Twitter is a fucking cesspool, and so much of this fandom has adopted Bryce Young as the official mascot of the Carolina Panthers, and yet even still, there are people who piss and moan that we're not doing the right thing by Bryce and put absolutely none of the onus on him for any of his shortcomings, no pun intended. But it's just ridiculous to me, man. Like, to watch so many fans completely give over the entirety of their fandom to a player who has never done anything to earn it even once is just mind-boggling to me. You might as well tell me how much of a fan you were of Jimmy Clausen.
I might ice up your boy Monty.
I muted that pussy.
But he put it. Did you not see the poll you were involved in?
Yeah, but fuck him. I mean, I like that people over there hate me. I'll continue to.
He didn't respond to me. I said, "Why aren't you on this list?"
Yeah, because he's
that was nice. All right, but here is the thing.
Fuck him.
CK brought up the problem with dead money, but also with our salary cap issue. The reason to trade Bryce Young would be that you save 22. Well, this would be 2024. You only save 12 only. You save 12 million if you trade him.
Yeah.
Next year. You have $22 million in dead money. So what do you want to do? You want to save $12 million and admit catastrophic defeat, I'm like showing up. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of what it's like where you know that you're not liked, and or something, and you like still just show up to the fucking party. You're like, I'm still going. Like
that's me.
I feel like the Panthers need to show up to that fucking party despite knowing they don't have an invite. Saving $12 million at the expense of $22 million in dead cap money. I'm making Bryce Young play through 2026. I am. I mean, but if you don't cut him this year or trade him this year, you actually have no cap savings. I mean, I guess you could. God, this fucking. How about this goes to this? Is that a friend of mine, when it comes to fantasy football, says this. Is that your first round draft pick in fantasy football isn't the most important pick, but you can't miss on it.
Right.
Like it doesn't determine a fantasy football team's success. It just doesn't alone. Like people that win fantasy football hitting somebody in the 7th or something, but people who win their fantasy football league, which is not me, because they drafted Christian fucking McCaffrey number 1 overall. Right, you can't miss. And what the Panthers did is they missed, or at least it looks like that. And to me, the scary part, Cody, is I know that you're in this Twitter battle over all this shit. I'm not invested with that battle. I have no dog in the fight.
Dude, I'm not invested. I treat Twitter like a toilet. I dump my shit in there, I flush it, and I fucking
I'm just
leave.
saying that people are invested in the discussion of Bryce. I'm not. The scary part to me is not when fans are being like this. Fans are like that. Fanatics, they're extremists, they're this, they're that, you can say what. To me, the scary part is when the team, the organization is like that. I feel like Canales is like, to me, is like Bryce Young isn't even a fucking question in his mind.
Dude, I'll be honest with you.
I think Carolina's out on him.
Dude, I can't stand Bryce Young.
Oh God!
And dude, and you know what? And I know that's fucked up. It has nothing to do with him. I know he's like the nicest dude in the world. I have no doubt that if I met him, it would be cool and cordial and all that good stuff.
He would put his arm around your shoulder as you sat down and you were together at the same height.
But this, like we talked about, he has become such a polarizing figure, and because of the battles that go on surrounding him. Yeah, it's turned like vitriolic, dude. Like,
would you take a third for him? I know you said no, and I know. Don't like get off your Twitter high horse of a first or nothing.
I'm on your team. No.
A third. Once we start hitting third and second, I don't think anybody's going to do it because they know the Panthers are desperate.
If you're going to tell me a second, it's a maybe. I'm still not even
certain. What's the package that you do it for?
For the Bryce Young,
you do it for a fourth.
No,
you do it for a third.
Not
it's
a
sunk
third.
Cost. It's the sunk cost fallacy. That's what people would tell me is sell FUBU. The company sucks. You lost $300. Who gives a fuck? You lost here. Cut your losses. Save your 20. Should have cut them before the season. That's fucked up.
I should have cut him before this.
Yeah, because he would have saved $22 million. Now we're only going to save 12.
Well, I guess ultimately the question is: are you going to have people that are willing to trade anything? I mean, and are we going to be eating so? The argument is that we would save $12 million. Is there a team willing to pay him $12 million that we're not going to have to eat that cost?
I don't know. I'm making that motherfucker pick up and I hate that. Actually, I don't mean that. Who was it? I used to say this about it was a lineman. Who was our left tackle before it? God, there was a left tackle that we had that just fucking, there's been so many. It was like who made Byron Bell look okay. It wasn't Cam Irvin. Who we had before Cam Irvin? But it was one of these.
Was it Matt?
Matt Khalil. That's what it was, because he had that giant deal. And I said I said, fucking make my Matt Khalil fucking clean up the stadium after the fucking game. You paid him $50 million guaranteed. Fucker's hurt and sucks all the time. You got fucking robbed by his brother. Fuck it. Make that motherfucker clean up the parking lot. You paid him. He's your employee. He is your employee. David Tepper, walk down there and tell Bryce Young to go play with the kids before the game.
Dude,
when they have that little football game between the kids at the middle, like sometimes at halftime they have the little kids.
Yeah, you make them run out and grab the football in the middle of the field.
I mean, like, Bryce, suit up and play against these children.
Dude, make him hand out Bojangles to the fans during the game and have them take pictures with them or something. Dude, I'm on your team. I do not want to trade Bryce, and that's
it. Better be for a third, or better be for a third.
Vegas Panthers do with the $2 is take a second and a fifth. Bryce is like investing in VHS.
I would take a second and a fifth. I would, especially if you don't believe that's a deal I'd consider.
And now you would have 2 second-round picks, and I believe 10 overall draft picks. Some people tell me it's 10. Some people tell me it's 9. We either have 10 or 9 right now.
I heard we had 8. So then, anyway, who cares? All right. How about this? Can we take another call?
Yeah, and then we only have a few more slides.
Yeah, and we have one. Let's get some juice and some action. How about this? I feel like I and this panel and a lot of these people in the chat brought some energy, folks.
Yes, sir.
More energy than the Carolina Panthers have brought at times. Let's keep it rolling.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from Spruce Pine.
We didn't hear this one yet.
I've been calling in for probably about 6-7 years now. I don't call in a lot, but I will periodically, and just wanted to. I don't even guess this is going to be about football, but I don't know if anybody's familiar with where Spruce Pine is. I'm actually from Spruce Pine, but I don't live there anymore. I live in the next town over called Burnsville. But unfortunately, both of those were kind of like ground zero for where Hurricane Helene hit. And I don't even know how much has really been covered over the extent of what happened over here. And I just wanted to make you guys aware of kind of what's going on. But when the hurricane hit, we didn't have any power, obviously, internet, cell phone service for 4 or 5 days, probably no cell phone service. There's still areas that don't have power today, but the Panthers played the Bengals that weekend, and I had no idea who won until like 3 days later. I didn't even know. There was no way to find out, but I guess what I'm trying to say, the worst part is we were kind of trapped. So we're like 30 minutes below Asheville. We tried to go to Asheville to get out and find some way to get some cell phone service or something, and I-40 was blocked completely. So then, we tried to go to Tennessee, and a bridge had washed out on I-26. It's still closed. The back way to Tennessee was no good either. And, I mean, there was no way to leave, and that's why, for a while there were no supplies coming in. But I do have to say that since they have got these roads opened up, we are overloaded with supplies. I mean, we have a ton. All of our needs are being met as far as that goes. We have tons of water. We have a lot of people from other states coming to help us. We're incredibly grateful for that help and those people that are coming to help us, whether it be search and rescue, handing out supplies, cutting people's trees down with chainsaws that are might be down in their driveway. There's a lot of work that we've still got to do, but the devastation, I've never seen anything like it. And this little area in North Carolina will never be the same, but I'm super appreciative of the help that we've received since this has happened. So I just wanted to, I guess, spread awareness on what's going on. But thanks, guys, and hang in there with our Panthers. They're hard to watch on Sundays.
Thank you, man.
That's all I have to say about that. All right, you guys have a good day.
Appreciate you, brother. Look, man, everything that has happened to Asheville and everyone in the mountains in North Carolina. People really don't understand how truly terrible it is. And CK, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, Elon Musk and X, formerly known as Twitter, they get a lot of shit for being like conspiracy peddlers and bullshit like this. I know this is your ice up the other week, but dude, let me tell you, if you're not on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, you really don't know the truth of the devastation that's happening here in North Carolina. How many places will never be the same? Roy Cooper is, I posted this the other day, Roy Cooper is on video talking about how, they want all those people to just sell their land, to just sell it. Now that it's all devastated, just give up and sell your land because it's no use. Dude, some of the stuff that you see on Twitter that's happening to those people and the devastation and the amount of people who try to help and are turned away, or the amount of people who are trying to look for relatives and loved ones that are still missing.
Yeah.
And apparently I heard something that apparently there's like supposed to be a frost and the mountains are going to get some snow here soon. And you have so many people that are still out of power. It's embarrassing, dude. And it's an utter failure of this country to take care of its people the proper way. So to people like the caller and people like the real AP in the chat room, to people that are doing everything in their power to help their fellow North Carolinian, y'all are doing the Lord's work, man. We appreciate y'all.
My dad drove a truck there today of supplies.
Oh, that's awesome.
From our church. All right, let's go to Anthony and Charlotte.
Yo, what's going on, C3? It's Anthony from Charlotte. Hope y'all boys are having a good Tuesday. Just wanted to call in and talk a little bit about the state of the Panthers. Obviously, last week was horrible. I'm not going to talk about the game. Just complete disaster. We all know what happened. There's been, there was a space yesterday with Sheena. She gave a lot of good insight. Fans got to rant. Really, you can't fire Canales this year. I expected it to be a slow process. I didn't expect us to look this bad. Not on pace for 1-16 worst defense ever bad, but I did expect 5 wins. So yes, I am a little disappointed in him. But then again, it's like you don't really see how he wants to build this team with so many guys still on the roster from past regimes, injuries, the quarterback not working out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm telling you have to go into the second season believing in Canales. Because trust me, he looks overwhelmed up there. And the only other thing I don't really like with him is being lied to. When you talk about wanting to be stubborn with the ball and how this job was attractive because of Bryce Young, like it's clear he spewed Tepper a bunch of bullshit.
Well, you gotta say the right things.
I just don't like being lied to. Like if you're in the post-game press conference, just tell the reporters you want to throw the fucking football. So we're not sitting here yelling at you on our podcast and on our spaces with all fans calling you a liar. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Second thing is, it's clear that Bryce Young is done here. I personally, maybe they have, they talked about, CK brought up, they have a plan for him when they talked at halftime in last game. I don't know if that's after the bye week or whatever they want to do there. But it's like these games are getting so bad. I don't know why not throw him out there now. Maybe Canales just doesn't want to seem too wishy-washy because I think he put himself in a hole when he benched Bryce so early. It's like, oh, well, I'm not just going to – if I'm going to bench him this early, then I can't just let Andy play for 5 games and then call it quits, right? Third thing is they got to trade players. They got to get draft capital, get Diontae out of here. Sheena said that they were trying to pay him in this space. I know I tweeted out they were trying to trade. I couldn't hear because there were so many people talking. But, yes, she said they've been trying to pay him. And like I said, like I predicted, he's not going to take the money to come here because, A, he probably doesn't want to be here. There's too much instability. And two, and B, he knows that he's going to get more money on the free market. So you got to trade players like him, look to trade other guys, stock up draft picks. And yeah, give me your thoughts, Anthony from Charlotte. Keep motherfucking pounding.
Good call, Anthony. I'm with you on the Deontay Johnson. Canales, don't think we can be out on him yet. I understand. Look, I had a Tampa Bay. I've said this over for the last 4 weeks on the podcast. Tampa Bay friend of mine said when we hired him, he said, get ready to throw the ball. Despite that, when it comes to, I think, yeah, it took a lot of balls for Canales to put in Dalton and the bench Bryce. I mean, that took some cojones. I think he has a point, but now things are just going so bad. There is a point where you have to say this season is unsalvageable, right? And and when I say salvageable, I don't mean us making a playoff push. I'm talking about meaningful football. Salvageable. David Screws, I think, there is a point where David Screws' point is the point. Take that, Donald Rumsfeld. He says, I know everyone has given up on Bryce Young, but if you look at Chicago, that little time he had, he looked good. He looked more improved and more accurate. We need an evaluation on Bryce Young. We gave up too much. And just trading him for a fifth is the worst to me, like we've talked about. If you don't make them pick trash up or just be a healthy scratch, you try them out. If I got to watch this, look, the fans did not speak well enough for us to miss the game. We tried to somehow finagle you guys into paying us to not.
Yeah, we tried to get paid to do it, movie.
I know. I'm sorry, but I wanted to see if people really thought it would be a fun idea. It wasn't trying to get money. It's like, would it be fun to have us not know anything about
you know what we need to do so we don't have to get up at the crack ass of dawn? We need to just do it for the Germany game and then just do a show and let
we play the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants.
They stink. We can't not watch the game that you could win. And Brian Burns,
can we? Wait. We could win. Can we win that? I mean, dude, their offensive line.
They scored 3 points last week, I think, or something.
And by the way, their offensive line is like the worst in the NFL. Like they're getting Daniel Jones's ass kicked. So maybe so, man. I don't know. But
next week we'll set the goal. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do the 10 super chats, and I'll wear the paper bag on the show for the entire post game. Maybe that's how I'll get that super chat goal. He's right. I agree with him about Diontae Johnson, though. And I like that guy. I like him, but look, he don't get something. Get something for that mug, because you're not gonna pay him enough for him to stay and be happy. You're gonna pay that mug, and then we're gonna go out there next year and stink, and he's gonna be fucking like, I don't want to be here. Forcing a trade. That's what's going to happen. Let's go to the next call.
What's up, C3? Greetings from beautiful Idaho. I was going to put in a comment real quick. I've got to hop out before you guys get going. And then I saw the title that Mr. Lashney put up there. And I thought I need to call in. I've been just a little bit
jaded,
smart ass about my comments about these Panthers since the middle of last year. But fire sale, yard sale, hell yes, get rid of them. Anybody's on the market. You guys are talking about keeping our young talent. We've done this bullshit half rebuild for 7 years now. It's not working. Get them all out. If you get a good deal, take it. Derek Brown, you're not off the table. You got a first-round pick for Derek Brown. Take it. JC Horn,
you gotta get a first second
round pick.
Fucking
Take
injury.
It. We'll figure it out. There is no end in sight at how bad, how atrocious this team is. Talking about the worst Panthers team. Jesus. It is the worst NFL team. I mean, it is worse than those 0-16 Brown and Detroit Lion teams. They were close in some games. A lot of games they were close. I was born in Cleveland. I used to watch those games. This is terrible.
They're not doing
No
so
end in
well in
sight.
Cleveland
You got to
right
do
now
a
either.
fire sale. You got to light the match, step away. All right. Cody, I think you and C-Dog were hanging out with Colt 45s and 2 zigzags talking about trading Bryce Young for a first-round pick. But hell, if you can get a third, fourth, fifth for him, bag of Doritos, kicker's tee, some practice balls, get rid of him too.
Kicker's tee for
This
7
team needs
draft.
to just load up draft picks, not just this year, next year, the year after that. Because if you want to just keep doing what we're doing and be a maybe 5-6 win team for the next 6 years, then yeah, let's do that. Let's just keep on with this air quotes talent that we got on the team and try to build around it. But if you want to do it right, fire sale it. Start getting some first, second, third round picks for 26 and 27.
We ain't getting no first for nobody.
I know it hurts
What's the
to trade a
best
Rick Wade
Deontay
or good
Johnson
talent,
gives you?
but this
third?
shit isn't working, man. We're going on a decade, and we're going to be going on 2 before we know it, unless we make a serious change. And we know the owner's not going anywhere, so it's tough, man. So y'all keep pounding. Again, best thing about Panther season is C3.
Thank you,
Love you
man.
guys.
Thank you. Does
Love you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
anybody on this team other than JC Horn bring more than a third?
Derek Brown.
Well, no, because he's injured.
Right, but
like Chuba doesn't bring you a second.
Right.
Deontay Johnson doesn't bring you a second.
I mean, if
I think you're getting a third and a fifth maybe for Deontay.
You could probably try to package some people together.
If Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper didn't get up to a second round pick, then why would Diontae Johnson? It's just
they have a lot more money on their plate too. But,
yeah, that is.
I agree.
That is
I agree.
good.
I don't think anybody brings you more than a third, other than maybe JC. Maybe JC Horn gets you a second.
What do you think Chuba would go for?
Third.
Yeah.
Fourth.
I mean, a third's not
last year of his
bad.
contract. I'm sorry. I mean, like a third's not bad, but I think that's the best you're getting with any of these players.
No, I hear you.
All right, let's go to John B. Jenkins. Stick around. G Baby is coming up after John B. And G Baby used to love some Bryce Young. See if he's still now what he wants to trade him for.
Look, guys, it's John B. Jenkins, and I'm just calling in to tell everybody to hang in there. We got this. We're a community. We're not going to leave each other. Cody, please don't leave the team. If we trade Bryce Young, we value you way more than we do Bryce Young.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you.
I don't really have anything to say about the game. I turned the game on for like literally 2 minutes, and I was like, you know what? I'm going back to scrubbing the toilet. And I didn't watch any more of it. But the toilet's clean. Let me tell you something that sucks almost as bad as this team. My fucking washing machine, the stupid door locking mechanism is broken. I bought a new one. I installed it, which means I had to disassemble the whole fucking washing machine. And I put it in. I haven't washed clothes in 3 days. And it's still throwing code F5E3. What the fuck is that shit? Man, I need my washing machine to work, and I need my team to work. This Sunday is my birthday. I'm going to be 43 years old. I need a fucking win.
Happy birthday,
I need a win. Please, Panthers, can we just win on me and John Casey's birthday? Yeah, that's right. I share a birthday with John Casey. You know who I birthday with? Well, me and John Casey share a birthday with Teddy fucking Roosevelt. So the Panthers need to go out there and speak softly and carry a big stick and beat the shit out of whoever the fuck we're playing this weekend, because I don't even know who it is. Are we even playing this weekend? Do we have a bye week? I don't know. But I'm still here on the C3 Panthers podcast, and I'm glad all y'all are as well.
Thank you, brother.
That's all I got for tonight. As always, keep pounding Carolina Panthers. Keep pounding Panthers Roshlaw. And keep pounding C3. John B. Jenkins out.
John B, we love you. Happy birthday coming up. Sharing a birthday with John Casey, Teddy Roosevelt, and he needs a win. This guy's had a loss in his washer machine life. He's had a loss in his Carolina Panthers life. Sadly, we're going against the Denver Broncos team that has a good defense and is somehow 4-3 with Bo Nix. The Panthers are going to get fucking shellacked by a shitty ass Broncos team.
Yep.
Sorry, John B. Sorry
And by the way,
to pee on your birthday candles.
And by the way, much love to John B. Thank you for saying that you do not want me to leave this fandom. It is because of people like you that I'm definitely not going to leave. I'm just talking shit on Twitter, but y'all kind of already knew that.
Let's get some G, baby. Get ready. Brace yourself, folks.
Oh, shit. Bryce is the fucking best, motherfuckers.
Nah, he is off that. But
no, he's not. No, he's not. You should have heard him last Friday, dude. No, he's not.
No, who the fuck it is. Booyaka.
Hey. You know who the fuck it is. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka! What's good, my boys?
Not much.
What's good, CK?
I love G, baby.
What's good, Mr. Cody Lack? What's good with my white Italian brother? Let's get into it, man. The season is over, y'all. The season's over.
The season's over. It is.
When I got people telling me, when you got 8 out of 11 people on defense that are practice squad players, the season is over. Like CK just said, teams don't even have to fucking throw the ball on us. They can literally just run the ball the entire game, let it be the shortest game in NFL history, and just get on with their merry own fucking way, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. It's time to see Bryce fucking Young. It's time to put Bryce Young, and Bryce Young gives us the best opportunity to fucking win games, or at least make it fucking watchable. And it's not even just that, just developing.
Yeah.
Bryce Young is the most important thing for the Carolina Panthers right now. Motherfuckers say, let's go get a new QB. Let's go get a new QB. Bryce Young's contract's fully guaranteed, y'all. So if you go get another fucking QB, it's looking like we're going to have the pick 1, 2, or 3? It's going to be a top 3 pick.
If we don't have
you're trying to tell me that you're going to go pay another QB, another guarantee? That just don't make sense to me, y'all. This team is bad. The roster is bad. We need to focus on just building the fucking roster and building the fucking team, getting rid of the 3-4, moving to a fucking 4-3, getting rid of Evero, and just scrapping that. It's time to sell assets as well. I don't want to lose Deontay Johnson. I want to keep Deontay Johnson. I don't think we should trade him, but if I'm Deontay Johnson, I'm not fucking staying here, bro. I'm not. I'm asking for a trade. As far as J.C. Horn, I would love to keep J.C. Horn. He's a homegrown Carolina Panther player. But as far as Chuba can go. There's no need for us to pay for another back when we'll be paying Miles Sanders next season. And we got my boy Jonathan fucking Brooks.
Yep.
But I'll be calling in, man. Like I said, it's all about Bryce Young. It's always been about Bryce Young. It's time to see our number 1 fucking pick play, bro. There's just no need for him to fucking continue to be on the bench. But I'll be calling in, man. It's all about C3, man, and I love y'all, man. So I'll call back.
I love G, baby. Some people I love G, baby.
Yeah,
that's been anytime a black person shouts out a white person as their brother.
Man, he loves calling you his white Italian brother, man.
He knows it gets to my. He knows
he
knows it with me. But guess
he's
what?
Got you wrapped around it. By the way, we have a T-shirt that says "You effing make me sick." That's dedicated to G baby. You can go to Carolina Cat Chronicles.
I used to love when he did that shit.
Find them all. There's also a Panther Pickle T-shirt. Shut the hell up. And our C3 Panthers podcast shirt and mug at CarolinaCatChronicles.com.
Can you pull those up as we go to G Baby Part 2 and show these people some of the merch? Because I tell you, what we don't do well enough is push the merch. And when we push the merch, people have bought the merch.
Yeah, sir.
Hey, people
Carolina
bought like
Chronicles.
t-shirts in the last 2 weeks. We sold coffee mugs. Somebody our boy did an unboxing of a coffee mug.
Yeah, shout out Jake.
Yeah. Here, let's go back to G baby. You made me fucking sick.
G baby, I got a couple more fucking things to say to you motherfuckers. The season is over. The only thing the Panthers should be doing right now, as of right now, we are in the second overall spot in the draft. I don't see us winning another game. I really genuinely don't. As soon as we hit that number one spot, we got to lock that shit in. And it's not even the mere fact that we should take a play, which I believe we should take Travis Hunter or Kelvin Banks, the tackle from Texas. But I just feel like with that number one spot comes with so much reward because we can trade down the fucking draft, acquire more picks. I believe we have 9 or 10 going into the draft 2025. But the only thing the Panthers should be doing is losing games because
I don't think they have
we're
a
not gonna
choice,
win no
dude.
games. We can't go to the playoffs, and I don't want to hear about the fucking Bucks being injured. I don't want to hear about the Saints being injured. The Falcons. I don't want to hear us trying to make a run. I don't want to hear that shit.
Don't worry.
That ain't gonna fucking happen, man. The only thing we need to do is just focus on developing the young talent that we have. Ja'Tavion Sanders is improving every single week that goes by. He's improving. I love what Chuba is doing, and I love what Miles Sanders is doing. There's no need to bring back Jonathan Brooks. I just don't think there's no need to. As far as Wallace, the linebacker, he's improving. So it's just let's develop the young talent. Let's get Bryce on the fucking field and continue to develop what we have in fucking Bryce Young. That's all we can do right now. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in Dave Canales. He's a liar, man, and he's a bad liar. At least with the rat rule, I believed in him a little bit from what he was saying, but I still knew he was lying. But it was way more believable. With Dave Canales, when he speaks, I'm just like, bro, you're such a fucking liar, bro. Like, you're lying to my fucking face, and you don't give a fuck. That's how I feel. Like, how do you do this to Bryce Young after we just spit on and disrespected Cam Newton? Now we're gonna do this to Bryce Young. That's right, dude. The Panthers, the Carolina Panther fans don't deserve shit, bruh. We don't deserve shit as an organization, man. But this is you, baby. I ain't got no more time, man. Much love to you, my Italian brother. I'll see you guys on the flip side, man. Hey, y'all stay easy, bro. It ain't the end of the world, man. I stopped giving a fuck about this team a long time ago, man.
Thanks, G baby. If you want to take any solace from any of this, guys, Matt Rule lost to Indiana 56-7. So we'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that. By the way, you told me to do it, so you know I do what I'm told. CarolinaCatChronicles.com. This is our shop. You can get the C3 Panthers Podcast shirt. The Panther Pickle, shut the hell up. You fucking make me sick. And a fan favorite, I know everyone loves it as soon as they get it. It's the C3 mug, boy. Hey, get yourself for that hot cup of Java.
Come on, $11, 13, I think, for the bigger one. We got one call left. I want you to do this. We're gonna take this next call, and I want you guys, because I got one question for you. Ooh, I do not like the 3 circles. Do not like the 3 circles. The call is this. He said, G Baby said that we're slated to get the number 2 pick.
Right now, we have the number 1 pick.
Are we not?
Well,
I thought we were behind the Patriots.
Well, first,
No,
I want
I
to, but I'm going to tell you this: there is that maybe mathematically, some reason, strength of schedule, something that the Patriots qualify for the number 1 pick. But I'm going to make an argument to you guys that there is no way that one of those teams is worse than us, including the Cleveland Browns, including the Patriots. We got to take our last call, do the last parts of this show. Somehow, some way, we've been pushing through these shows, and now the show where we hated talking about this team, we talked the most. Last call of the night.
Hey guys,
It's the girl that makes him howl, a.k.a. Joey the Blind Panther. Man, I wasn't even going to call in today. But you know what?
Panthers are too.
It's just, what is up with the vibe is so bad because the team is so bad. And it's like, you know, literally a month ago today, we won. And I mean, it was a great game, but I don't even remember it for the fact that we won. I remember it for the showgirls after the fact that I hung out with. But, you know, whatever. The Panthers won 36-22. May as well not even been a Panthers game, damn it. I mean, it's like the Raiders and Panthers must have like morphed and switched sides because I don't know, but some
Joey missed his first.
Something ain't right. But you know, I called because you mentioned the guy from Roaring Riot.
Oh,
and
I
it's
was
like,
supposed to bring this up.
I only want to go to these games to go to Roaring Riot tailgates. It's like, you know, like it's like a send-off party, like you're going to war, like you're going to do your battle, like you're going to cut your teeth as a fan. So you go to the tailgate, and these like all these other Panthers fans are over there with you, like, you know, celebrating and dancing and acting like, you know, it's a happy occasion, eating some awesome food, drinking some awesome beer, dancing, playing some awesome music, although I've had Welcome to Atlanta stuck in my head for the past, like, week because our DJ was a Falcons fan and switched from Raise Up to Welcome to Atlanta from Jermaine Dupri halfway through the song, but god damn it, that beat was so cool. Look it up if you never heard it. It's super cool. But, yeah, dude, this is the point we're at a team. It's like my parents are talking about, oh, we got a wedding on Sunday. Oh, great, good. I don't have to watch this shitty-ass team. Like, this is what I'm coming to now.
Is clean as toilet.
Like, I'd rather play basketball with my blind friend. I mean, that's awesome anyway, but seriously, I seriously want to schedule basketball with my blind friends every Sunday.
Me
so I don't have to
too.
watch this shitty-ass
Maybe
team.
that's what we should raise the super chats
But then
for.
again, then I couldn't go to Roaring Riot. Anyway, guys. Wow, wow, wow.
All right, Joey the Blind Panther. We would, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. After the next Panthers loss, we're gonna do the goal of us doing a post game of Joey playing his friends, blind friends, instead of the Carolina Panthers. He referenced Roaring Riot and Zach Luttrell, who founded the Roaring Riot. He said this, and I've never, you know what? I don't see much from him like this. You know what I mean? He's busy. Probably has to keep a positive because you've got a fan group in a sense. I woke up this, he writes this. I woke up this, it's kind of long, it's long. He said, I woke up this AM thinking back to last weekend's game and how my son really couldn't have cared less that game was on. He is 9, and in those 9 years, I haven't had many chances to watch the game at home with him, so I really built up how special Sunday was for us to get to do that. Then it occurred to me, in 7 of his 9 years, he hasn't seen a winning season, the playoffs, a home game packed with home fans, or any real recognizable players he can latch onto. All things we have said over and over and over. He likes football. He likes Mahomes. He likes Hill. He likes Jefferson. His whole football frame of reference is identifying with star players from around the league that has nothing to do with the team from the town he was born in, the team that is such a big part of his dad's life personally and professionally. One of the components often discussed in the conversation about our growing fan base and creating a home field advantage is having multiple generations of fans. Oh, have we heard this? Has anybody on this show talked about generational fans and how
not once
this is going to be a problem? Rather, the older fans who had another team before the Panthers arrived, suffering through these last 7 seasons without any success, has been, insert whatever adjective you like, insufferable, miserable. We can fill it in. But even worse is the frustration of constant losing is almost a decade and will be a decade before it's over. That's been totally wasted on trying to create a Panthers fan of his generation. Panthers fans are a huge part of our lives, and even that isn't enough to make him care even watch. Like, I mean, the Panthers ultimately pay his bills inadvertently, right? The realization that he will most likely be a teenager before something that happens with this team that gains his attention and creates excitement really hits me this AM. It's the biggest tragedy, this whole debacle. I also haven't had coffee yet, so maybe it's just me. Zach, A, thank you for what you've done for Panther Nation overall. Always been a cool dude to me. B, and this is not said within, this is a little sarcastic. We could have said this 3 years ago. I mean, like, that is the actual scariest fucking part of this, and has been, is the idea of a team that didn't have the pedigree of fans to be able to weather this storm. Look, I'm going through it not only here, but with my college team. I think about this is that, like, ECU, one of the greatest party schools in all of America, a hidden football culture at one point, a gym where we were putting out good teams that we shouldn't have and stuff like this, and packing out 40,000 people in the stadium. And then I think about these poor motherfucking college kids that spend all this money and they ain't ever seen a football game. 4 years go by, 6 years go by, 8 years go by, and these motherfuckers haven't ever seen what we saw. That's what he's talking about there, and that's the problem. I guess this is what Panther fans will say: keep pounding.
Well, we talk about it a little bit too when Noah comes on. So it's like these Panther fans that dude. Anthony was even joking around the other day in one of the spaces. He was like, dude, my balls hadn't even dropped the last time the Panthers were good. And I'm like, dude, you're right, man. And by the way, shout out to Anthony, just turned 22. And it's like, yeah, man, especially these younger kids. Like, they just don't
9 years, never even fucking cared about. My kids don't care about the Panthers. My 11-year-old doesn't care about the Carolina Panthers at all.
Why should they? I mean, honestly, why should they, man? Listen, we only have a couple more slides left to get.
Yeah, and then I want to tell you why the Panthers will have the number 1 draft pick.
All right, well, let's get through some of these slides.
Right, let's finish this show up. Let's get through it. We're over. Where I'm at, I'm over this shit.
All right, so
Bryce good picture.
Yeah, dude, my thumbnail game is elite. I have so many on my fucking computer now. But so listen, Canales was once again asked about Andy Dalton and Bryce Young. He was asked directly if he has faith in Bryce Young, and says this is about Andy Dalton. This is about playing the Denver Broncos. And by the way, shout out to Vashti Hurt of Carolina Blitz, because she followed up with a good follow-up question that did push Dave Canales and kind of forced him into a better answer. She doubled down on why this Bryce Young question is so important.
Given what the organization gave up for Bryce, you do understand the questions regarding the status of the franchise, right?
Absolutely. Completely sensitive to the questions, and they're not unfounded and unbased. But from my perspective, I'm trying to get a team to continue to take strides and take steps, and that's where my focus has to be. It has to be on getting Andy to play his best football with this group, a group that has showed promises, and then a group that has showed to struggle, and like, what is those struggles and what can I do as a coach to put ourselves in the best situation? So that's really where I can focus my energy on.
So what's that, y'all? Is this a good answer? Because he continues to kind of brush it under the rug, saying my job is to get the entire team ready and to get Andy Dalton ready. But basically saying that, without directly saying it in so many words, that Andy Dalton still gives us the best chance to win football games. I understand this is the type of shit that drives G-Baby up the wall and makes him want to pull his hair out to all the Bryce Young stands, because he says out of one side of his mouth, yeah, I understand what was given up to go and get him. Yet at the same
it's a
time,
reasonable question is what he's saying. He's saying it's a reasonable question.
But he says, my job is to prepare Andy Dalton to be ready to play next Sunday. So
What this tells me about that, and this is, I guess, that's the exact thing I was referencing earlier, is there is no inkling of like, oh, maybe we should.
Right.
He's just like, but Andy Dalton's the guy.
But like the thing that is interesting is because he's so adamant, like it makes, I don't know, it's weird that it is just that quick. I kind of understand why it's that quick because we saw what Bryce really brought to the table earlier this year, but it does make you believe that there is a plan. Now, do I believe that plan is like one that we can rely on? I don't know. But I mean, I do, get the feeling that there's an actual plan. And so just because he is that adamant, if he wasn't that adamant, I'd be like, okay, well, there isn't really a plan. We'll move on. But I don't know, man. He is very quick to move on from the idea of Bryce and just kind of.
It seems an afterthought to me.
Yeah,
that's where Bryce seems an afterthought to him as a coach.
Yeah,
and then maybe do your next slides have anything to do with him saying ask that to Brant?
I don't have anything about.
I saw a tweet and I didn't follow up on it, but it was like they asked him about trading. He said that's a question for Dan Morgan and Brant Tillis.
So he wouldn't even commit to not trading him. That's look.
It seems to me like the organization has quit on Bryce. That's the scarier part to me than fans quitting on him.
So as I'm scrolling Twitter, I see this tweet from Bridget Stockdale, who says he is quickly losing a big portion of the fan base quickly. Good. They need to leave. Dave Canales said he is quickly losing a big portion of the fan. If a big portion of the fan base is just dedicated to nothing but Bryce Young being successful, good. I fucking want him to
And
go.
we can't fight. I'm sorry.
No.
Look at what the Vikings are doing right now with their coach after a third year. They sucked his first year.
The Bengals went 1-15 before they got Burrow.
I think this is and we won't talk about it tonight, but we'll queue it up for maybe. I mean, we'll have plenty of things to talk about as the Panthers lose. But imagine hiring 4 coaches in 4 years.
Yeah, and dude,
how bananas that would be. And then you pay all of them for 6 years. So you're paying 24 years of coaches at the same time.
And by the way, listen, I can't confirm this, but I don't believe that Dave Canales lied when he said that he came here, to be able to turn around and help a quarterback like Bryce. But I think that he got here and found out just how far behind the curve Bryce Young actually is. And now he's like, nah, I didn't draft this dude.
He
And
had to, bro. I don't think that's even thinking. I think
all
that the fact that
fans that are refusing to give him any support just over Bryce Young, let him fucking go, dude.
I don't even think that is like kind of conjecture or speculation. They moved on from a guy they traded the world for after 2 games. And they have lost in the most miserable fashion in the last 2 games. And there ain't no looking back to that, dude.
Yeah.
That says a lot to me. All right. What do we got? This. We can't play the clip.
Yeah, it's. I don't have an 8-second version of it. I don't know if that'll.
Okay, let's see. Poor Steph.
It's up to you. You're
I don't care. Man, no, let's fire through the show. Like we don't even go. All right, actually, I haven't heard it.
Let me if you don't want me to play, let me just tell them what happens. Steph Curry goes on. Scott Van Pelt is doing an interview, and at the very end of the interview, Steph Curry says, "Go Panthers," and Scott Van Pelt says, "Good luck with that," and they both bust out into laughter. Dude, it's just like an example of how bad, how publicly humiliating the Panthers are to all of us Carolinians, North and South, and fans all over who love this team. We are the laughing. In my mind, it's between us and the Browns for being the laughing stock of professional sports.
They're about to get back. All right. Do we have anything else? And then I'll tell you exactly why the Panthers will have number 1 pick.
So
help on the way.
I mean, just some roster updates. We're signing. Hang on, let me get rid of this. We're signing linebacker Cam Gill off the Lions practice squad, and Jonathan Harris off the Dolphins practice squad. Cam Gill, who was here during offseason but was
Had
released
2.5 sacks in 40 games.
Yeah, he has 2.5 sacks in 3 years with Buccaneers, bringing 40 games. He also had a half sack and a forced fumble on Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl. What's that?
Okay. 55.
Yeah, maybe. They also signed defensive end Jonathan Harris from the Dolphins. 6'5", 295-pound Harris has familiarity with the staff from his time with the Broncos. He's appeared in 33 games over 4 seasons. We have since moved on and released outside linebacker Marquise Haynes, who's been here forever. He was a 4th-round pick in 2018. And we also waived Chandler Mooten and defensive tackle TJ Smith from the
Help is on the way. Practice squad players are going to save the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, just real quick. This is what I'm going to tell you. The Carolina Panthers will have the number 1 pick. Oh, did you want to do this too?
Well, no, I mean, go ahead. It was just a little bit about Jatavion Sanders and some of the
I heard
good.
y'all talk about him making business decisions.
Yeah, so he had some good and bad, and this article talks about how to continue to cultivate that talent.
He's a rookie, dude, and he was a little raw. I think he's actually played well given the fact that he's tight ends take time.
And he's been a good blocker. A lot of people thought that would be an area that he had to work on.
Right.
But no, he's done pretty well there. But again, he also has things that he has to get better at.
Sure.
Yeah, he's not very shifty.
Football.
Yeah, he's not gonna do a Travis Kelce and just make you whiff and miss completely. Yeah, he's not a great mover. But this article,
you don't know yet.
Yeah, and it's early, and it has shown some promise too, and that's part of the reason why the article was made. But it's just talking about how we can continue to build around what he does well and continue to have him be a producer for the Panthers.
The Patriots are 1-6, the Browns are 1-6, the Titans are 1-5, the Carolina Panthers are 1-6. If any team can beat out the Carolina Panthers for the number 1 overall pick, it's the Titans. The Browns are going to get better right away. They got addition by subtraction. Jameis Winston is going to come in there and take these motherfuckers to the wild.
It's not even Winston. It's the dude that they got in like the 6th round or something.
Fuck that.
No,
Jameis. We should trade. You know what? I'll trade Bryce Young for Jameis Winston.
You just want to hear the interviews he'll do here.
It's fucking great. And you know what? He actually isn't terrible. The Browns are going to get better. I didn't know. Now that kind of ruined my argument because I thought Jameis was going to be their savior. The Patriots are better now that Drake May is playing. The Titans, they're terrible, but they can't be as bad as us. I can't believe it. The Carolina Panthers are going to have the number 1 pick. I cannot see a world right now where the Panthers win more games than the Patriots, the Browns.
Yeah,
maybe the Titans. What do they? Why are the Titans? They got a bye already. They got the first bye in the fucking NFL.
Dude, Drake May.
He's throwing fucking some dots.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, that guy's gonna have a few more good games this year. You know. So yeah, dude, the Panthers are gonna have that 1 pick.
Yeah. All right.
Travis Hunter season, baby. That's what everybody's saying.
You can buy the merch at CarolinaCatChronicles.com. We need your help. Subscribing, thumbsing up, all of that. Check us out. Please, actually, if you really want to help too, just go to Spotify, even if you're listening right now, and just download it. Listen on fast forward for 2 minutes will help us. We got to get those Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts at. Check us out. We're here on Tuesdays after the game.
Yep.
Friday, free for all. Let's ice some fools up, Cody, and get the hell to bed. 11:50, and I've slept.
We had some Broncos slides. Did you not care?
All right, what's that? All right. Show me how Bo Nix is going to beat us. Bo Nix beat somebody. They beat the Jets, and I think it was the Jets they won, and he had 60 yards passing.
And by the way, shout out to Kristen Butler. Says love the C3 shirt. By the way, very comfortable.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. So this is a little bit about Bo Nix. The Broncos passer will be the third rookie quarterback taken to the first round that the Panthers have faced this season. We've played number 1 and number 2, as well as the third Heisman finalists, Williams and Daniels. Nix has started all 7 games for Denver this season, going 137 of 244, 61.2% for 1,246 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He's nimble, he's shifty, he can move around. He's the type of guy that will make you miss. Through the first 7 weeks, he has the 3rd lowest sack rate. Oh, then we're not touching him. At 3.5%, having been sacked 9 times.
Like 28, dude.
I don't
Remember
know.
they kept saying he was old.
Yeah, he is older because he played at Auburn for a while before he ended up playing at Oregon. Nix has the 5th highest scramble rate in the league right now at 10.4%. Those scramble yards, along with design plays, have resulted in Nix becoming the Broncos' 2nd leading rusher with 255 yards on 47 carries, along with 3 rushing touchdowns. So, dude, he's not only are we not going to sack him, but he's going to run all over us. I have a feeling. They're going to use that quarterback run, and they're going to fucking burn our shit.
C3P. CP3 on Underdog. Let's see. Surtain.
Patrick
Didn't he get hurt?
Surtain.
Oh, yeah, okay. He had a concussion. That's what it was. 2-time Pro Bowler, by the way, Surtain. Picked after JC Horn.
Yeah, 1 pick after. That was the big debate. Who were we going to draft? Was JC Horn or Patrick Surtain? But the last time he played, Surtain allowed the 2nd lowest EPA per target at negative 0.76 amongst corners this season. NGS also measures something called ball hawk rate, which is described as a measure of how often a player dish up to pass divided by targets as the nearest defender. Even after missing most of week 6, Surtain still had the 3rd best ball hawk rate in the league.
He's got a better ball hawk rate than the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers don't even have a ball hawk rate. That's what I'm icing it.
Yep. And then the last slide that we have here. So typically when examining an opposing offense, there are 1 or 2 players who stand out. 6 receivers accumulating double-digit receptions and 100-plus yards through 7 games. Cortland Sutton leads them in receiving, which has done 3 of the last 4 years so far. He has 21 receptions for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns, pulling in a team-high 6 big plays. But the 2nd leading receiver isn't far behind. Josh Reynolds has 12 receptions for 183 yards, averaging 15.3 yards per catch. Listen, JC Horn is probably going to be on Sutton, so everyone else is probably going to have a huge day. Huge. Am I wrong? Like
No.
Charles Smith Wade, Mike Jackson has sort of kind of reverted, in my opinion. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint. And then the final one is just the over-under. The total is 43.5. The money line is Panthers plus 320. The spread is Panthers plus 8.
We're fucking 8-point dogs to the Broncos. Bo Nix and the Broncos. Terrible. Do you want to tell us some other depressing shit?
I mean, we have some betting trends. We have the injury report. Dude, look how many people are on the injury report.
That's not even the whole
Gosh.
report. That's just like people that they know their names. All right. I'm ready to get out. Screw this. I'm picking the Broncos.
Oh, J.J. Jameson, 250 games. Only is one of just 59 players to reach this milestone.
That's crazy. How many of those with the same team?
Oh, great. I bet that is a wonderful question to research right there. We need a stat of the day. Stat of the day. All right. Well, JJ. Way to go. Thank you. Wish we could be happier about it, given the fact that I'm happy about nothing with the Carolina Panthers.
All right, now there's no more.
Everybody, is anybody picking the Panthers?
No.
No, why would you?
And I don't know who are the other. We usually do the pick real quick. I'm gonna say Tampa's losing because they lost everything. Let's see, NFL,
Godwin and Mike Evans, and Godwin's down for the season. Godwin's had a rough go of things in his career.
He's been so good too. This is simple. Bucks Falcons. God. Falcons look like dog shit this past week.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa, dude. Look,
Really?
I'm telling y'all, man,
Falcons.
dude.
Bounce
Every year, people get tricked by the Falcons. Like, I never doubted that Kirk Cousins would have some good games. I'm sure he is, but dude, that is not a team that's going all the way. Everybody said they were. They're not, dude. Tampa is still the team to beat in the NFC South.
New Orleans looks like they're on a bye. All right, can we ice some fools up and get out of here, please? Please. I've been slept about 6 hours in 2 days.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Ice up, son. This is the moment in the show. It's our homage. You get pumped up here. Pumped up for Steve Smith. Our homage to old Smitty, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. Everybody's fair game. We can ice up each other. We can ice up ourselves. We can ice up family members. We can ice up children if we want to. We always ice up the Panthers, it seems like on this podcast. Guys, give me something good. Give me something to laugh about. Give me something to make. Show me somebody dying on the internet.
Buddy, I'm gonna have to leave that to you, brother.
I don't have that. But listen, 'tis the season for meddlesome children standing next to Halloween decorations and ice up, because you should know better in this day and age. If your parents are recording you, you know some shit's about to happen. Enjoy a montage of kids having the shit scared out of them.
Oh shit!
All the way.
I found out before. Fun.
Man. I like that. I hit a tactor. That was kind of mean.
Oh, shit.
Those are dead puppies.
I like that. I like watching children get the shit scared out of them at Halloween. That's fun to me. That's all I got, man. I got
CK, what you got?
Dude, I'm good. I think that's a great one to end on.
I might end up having to sell your house and fucking
this
not sell your house. I mean, all that it's just so much damn work.
It is.
Even in a good situation, which it's not, and it is. Ice up. God. Working nonstop for other fuckers that don't care about you. Ice up. Let's get out of here, bro. It's the longest running Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. I'm Tony. That's Cody. But his name's CK. I think it's out of here.
C3 Nation. Until this Friday at 7 p.m. for the Friday free for all. Keep pounding.
I